Mary's. Join Tim Parrish as he brings you the play-by-play of tonight's Lumberjack football game. We want to take a moment to thank all of our Lumberjack sports sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Now we'll send it out to the field where Tim Parrish is waiting with the pregame show. And as always, go Lumberjack! And welcome, Lumberjack fans. Tim Parrish here at Orofino High School as we get set for the final game of the regular season for the Lumberjack football team, as it is a pretty nice night currently here in Orofino. We're sitting at about 54 degrees with mostly cloudy skies and no real wind to speak of at the moment. I've seen that there's about a 5% chance of some showers at 8 p.m. Wind's supposed to pick up a little bit later in the evening, but hopefully those rain showers hold off and we have a dry night, because I didn't really bring any protection for sitting up here in the stands in Orofino, as we get to sit in the visitor side of the stands. And we're looking forward to the Lumberjacks finishing off the season on a high note, hopefully with a win here against the Maniacs. It is a senior night for Orofino as well. So they're going to have their senior night festivities. And, again, hoping for a good night of football action. There could be some records broke. We'll talk about that a little bit here in the game as well. But first, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll hear from head coach Hayden Humphrey.
It's not just saving. It's preparing your kids for college, owning your tomorrow, and saying yes to that home, trip, or the next chapter. At P1FCU, we believe saving should work as hard as you do, because every dollar you set aside is a step toward freedom. We're not just your credit union, we're your future's biggest fan. Explore better banking with P1FCU. Learn more at p1fcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. When you think of Potlatch-Deltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about Potlatch-Deltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, Potlatch-Deltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. Potlatch-Deltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, Potlatch-Deltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank Potlatch-Deltic for what they do and hope that you will also. Potlatch-Deltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance. This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
And we are here with head coach Hayden Humphrey for Lumberjack football as St. Mary's gets ready to wrap up their season against Orofino. Sadly, it's looking like more likely the last game of the year, but my hat's off to you. First year's not a bad season. There's definitely a couple of games in there that we probably could have won, but
we want some of those back.
That's football, though, right?
It is.
It's the way things happen. But last week, man, that game against Priest River was a fun one to watch, a fun one to broadcast, a fun one to play. I'm sure the players probably enjoyed that game. They wish it would have been 1 point in the other direction. But what are your thoughts on that Priest River matchup?
First off, I'm just huge thanks to credit, I should say. A lot of credit to my staff for, getting these boys ready all throughout. I mean, our offensive line played lights out. Defensive line played awesome. Backers played great. Running backs good. Everybody just played out of their mind. We were facing the league favorite. They were the preseason league favorite. The boys knew that. We knew it. We seen what they did on film. We've been watching them all year. We knew how potent they were, and you kind of put a challenge on the boys of, we know what they're going to do. You see it. You've seen it all year. Stop it. And, they did exactly that. I was super proud of how they responded. I mean, just coming back out of, that hangover of, what happened on senior night against Grangeville, 50-0 at home. I mean, that hurt. That hurt really bad. That was a sour taste. It was in everybody's mouth. But coming back from that and showing that level of passion and heart and effort, I couldn't be more proud of them. It didn't go our way. We had some bad calls coaching wise. We had some opportunities that we didn't capitalize on. And I mean, that's the nature of the game. That's why it's played and not played on paper. I mean, no, it was a great game. It was super fun. We were really, really proud of how they played and handled themselves. One more game this year. I'm not sure what Max Preps is going to come up with for the end of the season. We'll see. Not hanging my hat on anything. We had our opportunities to try and punch our ticket, and we just didn't. So we'll see if anything crazy happens, but focusing on Orofino this week and moving from there.
Had a couple of kids that really, I think they had some of their best defensive games of the night against Priest River. I mean, you had, I think, 5 guys that had double-digit tackles, and I think that's almost the first time this season we've seen that many. Cody with 14, Will had 14, Russ had 12. Colin, his was mostly assists, but he had a couple of regular tackles too. And then the guy that I hadn't seen in that position all year long, Logan Wilcox, comes in and 12 tackles on the night in the safety position. Yeah.
No, Logan played a fantastic game. I mean, he was a late, kind of addition that week. Us as a staff kind of sat down and talked, what can we do to kind of help shore up some of this run game? And, we were dealing with some injuries with some guys that we were trying to keep fresh for either the offensive side or whatever it is. And Logan, he's our Swiss Army knife. He started the season at wide receiver and corner, then changed from running back to outside linebacker, and then went from outside linebacker to safety. I mean, he's been all over the field, and he's a great kid. He never complained or anything like that. He jumped right into it and learned it and has done very well at every spot that he's been in. Really excited for his opportunities for next year. I think he's going to be a big part of our team next year. Just a great kid, great attitude, works hard, wants to be great, and will do anything. He's very coachable. But no, he played lights out. I mean, he made a lot of downhill thumping runs before they broke into a big gain. He limited them to a 4 or 5 yard gain instead. So he did a very good job. All those guys did. I mean, I could sit here and talk for an hour about how well that everybody on the defense played. I mean, it was a team effort. And that, that's what we've been trying to get. And it was nice to see that kind of come to fruition a little bit. They played awesome, swarmed to the ball, couldn't get the turnovers that we wanted to force. We tried, just could not get that ball punched out. But swarming to the ball, flying all over the field, I can guarantee it that Priest River at the end of that game felt, I'm sure they were beat up after that game because we were swarming and hitting.
Yeah. Well, it has to be one of the first games, I think, all season I've seen that we didn't give up very many 10-plus run yards.
No, they did a very good job of, containing and making people earn drives. And that was one thing that we preached. If they're going to get a drive and they're going to go down and score, make them earn it. Yeah, not just a big play that gets busted that they break off. Make them earn their drive. That first drive they earned it. I mean, they marched down the field and they scored. We answered back, and it was just a heavyweight boxing match after that. It was just throwing punches at each other all night. So it was a fun game.
All right, we're talking with head coach Hayden Humphrey before Lumberjacks get set to take on Orofino in Orofino tonight, and we'll be back with more. Well, well, well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau Insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products, including auto, home, commercial, and life, plus they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires. That's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Linker. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab Tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
And we are here. We are in Orofino. We've got head coach Hayden Humphrey, Maniacs out there looking to take you on here this evening. What do you know about Orofino?
Orofino, they run a little bit of non-traditional offense. And by that, I don't mean necessarily, wing tee. Wing tee is pretty common in high school football. But one that I haven't seen quite a bit is kind of a wishbone look, which is kind of interesting. You don't see that very much. That's a pretty old school style of offense, which is unique to see. And that's what's awesome about football is you see all these different looks and philosophies, and nobody's ever truly wrong. It's just a different way to go.
Yeah.
I know that this new coach that they have, Melton, I believe is his last name. He's been, trying to get this program up and rolling. He's been trying to get the numbers to improve. I've said this since day one is I want our league to be as tough as it possibly can be. It helps all of us for state criteria and all that. I want a good league. I want a league that, we have everybody is a contender and it's a week in, week out dogfight in our league. I hope that he's got some momentum on his side and he's rolling and he's able to start picking up some numbers and improve. They've got a few athletes on there that can do very well with the ball. I know that they've had a pretty tough schedule as well. And they've had some ups and downs, but I'm excited for this one, see how they do. And, we're both kind of that first year head coach in the leagues. We're the young bucks and, both trying to build our programs in the way that we want them to. So it'll be a fun one.
Yeah. So we're going to move on to, I usually ask you kind of what your keys to a win tonight would be, but I do know that it's already been announced in Idaho sports and stuff. So I'm going to ask you your thoughts on it. We are adding a team next year to our league with Logos going to bump up to play in the 3A. What are your thoughts on having that? What would it be, a 5 or 6 team?
I believe 5, right? Am I thinking that right?
3, 5, no, 6.
In 16 league? I'm all for it. We lose an out of conference game, but talking about next year and building a schedule with Dakota and making plans, it's hard up here. Washington starts 2 weeks later than we do, so it's hard to get them on the schedule. Montana starts a week later than we do. It's hard to find a Montana school that's our size or not, that is our size. Either they're way smaller or way bigger than we are. So it's kind of hard. And then being up here, I'd love to play a Southern team and an Eastern Idaho team every single year. Is that doable? Probably not because of the travel, but it would be awesome. So, adding that extra conference game, I'm all for it. Logos has had a lot of success in the 8-man and the 2A classification. They've kind of battled with Kendrick year in, year out on that. So, we played I don't think it was their entire varsity team, but it was some of their JV that came up. And they had some athletes and they were very well coached. So I'm excited to see what they do in the 11-man ranks, and how they fit into our conference. But just going back to that, I'm all for having a good conference. I want our conference to be as tough as it can. I want to be like that nuclear conference down in Eastern Idaho that looks like they're probably going to get 5 or 6 into the playoffs. That's it. The tougher we can be, the better it is. Yeah. So I'm all for it.
Well, we don't have the benefit that the Southern teams have. Just about every single game that, for football especially, we have is at least an hour travel.
Yeah.
We don't have any schools that are within 15 minutes of us to go play.
No. And then, they have a plethora of schools down there that they can play that are a classification bigger than them that helps them with max preps ratings and all that. If they can keep it close or they can pull the upset off. We have Timberlake, we have Bonners, we have Moscow. And then after that, it's like, don't really want to play Lake City. Don't really want to play Coeur d'Alene and Post Falls. It's kind of tough.
And playing with max preps now being a big part in seedings and stuff, JV games don't do you, playing a JV team does no good too.
No, and we kind of looked at it this year that, as a first-year coach, when the schedule was built and Dakota told me about it, I was all for it because first game of the year, I had no idea what we were going to be looking like. There was nerves and jitters on both sides. Hindsight's 20/20 looking at it. That probably hurt our max preps rating a little bit. But, it's, again, one of those lessons that you learn, but we're kind of in a corner when it comes to what we do scheduling wise. So
yeah, you don't have tons of options.
No. And I don't really know how much like playing an out of state school really helps you with any of that max prep stuff either. You kind of have to just do what you can to build a schedule and just go with it.
Yeah. So it's not like max preps is transparent with their formula.
Yeah. It would be really nice to know what that is. That could help some scheduling stuff.
Well, Coach, it's been a great season. Good luck tonight. And any last words or final comments to the fans out there?
I just want to say thank you to you, Tim, to my staff. My staff is one of the best. I will stand on that hill. They're awesome. They believed in me 100%. They jumped in and they bought into the vision that I have, and they've helped me tremendously, and they don't get enough credit for it. The community for believing in me, Dakota Peen, the school district for believing in me and what I'm trying to build. And then just this community giving support. It was nice to see the stands getting packed and the attendance we had this year. It was really exciting. And I'm ready to keep building and see where we go from here. So go Jacks.
All right. That's been our interview with head coach Hayden Humphrey. We'll take another break and come back with more as the Lumberjacks get set to take on the Orofino Mania.
Hang on one sec, Tim. Oh. One person I forgot to thank, my wife.
Yep.
Nope. Almost got me. I got to thank her. She stuck with me through all this chaos. So big thank you to Josie.
And with the new baby in the house.
Oh, yeah.
And a business too, owner. You guys have jumped into a lot right off the bat.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those lumberjacks.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack Sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!" Tim Parrish here in Orofino, Idaho. We are at Orofino High School where the Lumberjacks get set to take on the Maniacs in the final regular season game for both teams. And this is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to kick off right here on 1240 KOFE. Don't forget, also on our YouTube stream, and if you feel like it, hit over our Facebook page and subscribe to our Facebook page. Or follow us. One or the other, doesn't matter. But let's go ahead and get into the rest of our pregame. We had our interview, was a pretty good long one today with Coach Humphrey, as being the last one of the season, talked about a few more things and spread that out a little bit. But first, taking a look at the Central Idaho League standings. First, hats off and congratulations to Priest River for being the Central Idaho League champions this year. I read on one of their Facebook posts that it's the first league championship for Priest River since 1957. So, I mean, hats off to them and congratulations, and good luck in that in their first game of the playoffs when that comes. I think they get a first week bye. Priest River finishes. They are 3-0 in league play. They take on Kellogg tonight. They are 4-4 overall. Beat St. Mary's last week in a dogfight, 16-15. Max Preps has the Spartans sadly ranked at 15th. Really surprising. I just don't think Priest River's getting enough credit in the Max Preps rankings. They are 7th in the Idaho Sports rankings. Grangeville, 3-1 record in league play, 5-4 overall. They beat Kellogg 54-6 last week at home. On Saturday, they do not have a game this week. This is, I guess, their bye week, more or less. And they are just waiting to see what happens because they are right there at the cusp of a playoff spot. I think at number 11 in the Max Preps rankings. They're 9th in Idaho Sports. St. Mary's comes into tonight's game with a 1-2 league record, 3-5 overall. That game last week to Priest River, of course, 16-15. St. Mary's 14th in Idaho Sports rankings, 16th in the Max Preps rankings. Kellogg, a 1-2 league record, 2-5 overall. They lost to Grangeville last week, hosting Priest River tonight. They are 12th in Idaho Sports, 18th in Max Preps. And the Orofino Maniacs 0-3 in league play. 1-7 is what it says on Idaho Sports for their overall record. Last week they forfeited to Bonners Ferry varsity, but played Bonners Ferry JV, and they beat Bonners Ferry JV 32-6. The Maniacs ranked 20th in Idaho Sports and 21st in Max Preps. Taking a look at the polls and power rankings for 3A. Idaho Sports top 5 power rankings is Ryrie at number 1, West Jefferson at number 2, West Side at number 3, North Fremont at number 4, and New Plymouth at number 5. In the coaches poll, West Side sits at number 1. Number 2 is Ryrie. Number 3 is North Fremont. Tied for 4th is Aberdeen and West Jefferson. In the media poll, a couple of ties in that one. You got ties for 1st between Ryrie and West Side. Then you've got North Fremont and Declo at 3 and 4. And actually, I've got something messed up there because I've got Declo also tied for 5th with West Jefferson. So maybe Aberdeen is one of those ones that should be in there. Top 5 in the Max Preps rankings is West Side, Ryrie, North Fremont, and Aberdeen, and West Jefferson. So that's a look at the Central Idaho League standings and the polls and power rankings. We'll take another break and come back with more of the Potlatch number 1 Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff from Orofino after a word from our sponsors.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses. And most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Where can you turn for that friendly hand of support? Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood is a proud supporter of Lumberjack Sports. For all of your road building, site preparation needs, call Mitchell Excavation, 208-245-1160. Whether ditch digging for plumbing and electrical or home site preparation, Mitchell Excavation is the place to call. That's Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood, 208-245-1160. Mitchell Excavation says, go Lumberjacks! Tim Parrish here at Orofino High School. It is senior night for the Maniacs. They've got 11 seniors being announced here on the field this evening. And it's the last game of the season, Central Idaho League matchup. Seems to have been the matchup the last several years, has been, as of late, the Maniacs. And looking for a good game. St. Mary's wants to finish this game strong. St. Mary's has a chance, albeit a slim chance, at a spot in the playoffs. We've got to see what happens with the way everything goes with down south. But it's a pretty slim chance, but there is a little bit of a chance there. Let's see here. So we're going to take a look at Lumberjack Sports Update. Volleyball has finished up. I want to congratulate Demercia Spooner and Taryn Brebner as they were selected for all leagues for volleyball this year. So congratulations to those young ladies. Girls basketball, their practice gets underway here shortly. According to Idaho Sports, the early schedule shows that the Lumberjack girls' first game will be hosting Wallace on the 18th of November. Not sure if those schedules are completely finished, so there might be a game before that, might not be. So we'll keep you up to date on that. And then they will host Moscow on the 21st of November. So that's girls basketball starting to get rolling. Boys basketball, their early schedule, and I don't think that this is actually going to be the first game on the schedule for boys basketball, but it says that the boys will be at Grangeville December the 6th. It kind of strikes me that I don't think we'll end up with a league game to start our basketball season, but you never do know. But I know that those schedules aren't complete just yet, as our athletic director, Dakota Wickard, is still probably waiting for responses for schools and stuff to get back about scheduling. So we'll keep you, again, up to date on that one. Then their next game tentatively would be at Potlatch on the 11th of December. So a couple of road games so far to get started. And wrestling, I believe, gets underway in the next couple of weeks as well for their practice. So there's that. Now looking around the area for some other sports action, the Lakeside Knights volleyball team still battling for a spot at the state tournament. Volleyball, they finished 5-1 in league play for Lakeside, 15-1 overall. They lost to Wallace in their last game at districts, 3-0, and they will host Wallace on Saturday for the continuation of the district championship game. Being that Lakeside, I think, was the league champion, Wallace has to beat them twice. I think it's a double elimination type of bracket. So Lakeside has one more shot, I think, this week to stamp their ticket to the state tournament for volleyball. Football action for Lakeside, 1-1 in league play, 1-7 overall. They beat Clark Fork last week, 45-24, first win of the season for the Knights, and they are at Wallace tonight. Over at Kootenai, their volleyball season came to an end. 1-3 league record, 3-12 overall. They did beat Mullen in their first game of the district tournament, 3-0, but then they lost to Coeur de Christ at the district's tournament. So that ended the Kootenai Warriors volleyball season. That's a look at sports update. We'll take a break and come back with more of the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to Kickoff after a word from our sponsors.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in?
Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benawasha, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and of course St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette Record, pick up a copy today. The name says it all. Taco Bout It. What is it, you may ask? It's the best taco truck in town. Might even be the only taco truck in town. If you like tacos, and who doesn't, then you need to stop by Taco Bout It, located at 128 South Highway 3 in St. Mary's, across the street from XXX Feeds. Taco Bout It has too many tacos to list, so you will just have to try them all. Call in your order 208-582-8533, or just stop by. Taco Bout It, located across the street from XXX Feeds in St. Mary's. And Tim Parrish here in Orofino, and it is once again senior night for the Maniacs. This is the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union Countdown to Kickoff. Lumberjacks taking on the Maniacs here this evening. Taking a look at some season statistics for the Lumberjacks. We'll take a look at some possible record-breaking tonight as well for the Lumberjacks and a couple of their players. But points per game for St. Mary's, they've averaged 26 points per game throughout the season so far. Yardage per game, St. Mary's averaging 310 total yards. Passing side of things, 200 yards per game. Rushing yards per game, around 111. All solid numbers if you're a head coach. 6 yards per attempt, 4 yards per carry as far as the yardage is concerned. Turnovers probably a little bit higher than Coach Humphrey would like to see. 6 fumbles lost, 7 interceptions thrown. St. Mary's, I think, is -5 in the takeaways, so they teams have taken it away 5 more times than we have from them. Third down conversions, pretty solid number, 37%. Fourth downs, you probably want to see a little bit higher than 23%, but that's where St. Mary's is at as far as fourth downs. offensive leaders, and here's where we get into some of these possible records. Jack Barta, the senior quarterback, he is right now at 128 for 214 passing with 1,638 yards on the season. He is actually 141 yards away from breaking Kiefer Gibson's career passing yardage of 3,386 yards. So we're going to be curious to see if they can pick up those 141 yards tonight, and Jack can take ownership of a Lumberjack record. He's also one of the things that I didn't know, but he's the first sophomore to start in school history, first quarterback to start in quarterback history. Let me reread that. First sophomore to start in school history at the quarterback position. He's also got 25 consecutive starts at quarterback, so he leads that category with the school. He's got the longest consecutive snap streak in school history for 2.5 seasons. He's had every offensive snap for 2.5 seasons. He did get taken out late in one game this year, so that broke that streak. Most pass attempts in a single game, single season, and single career. He's got those records. Most completions in a game, season, and career. Jack Barta also has the most 100-yard passing games with 15. The most 200-yard passing games, actually he's tied with Kiefer Gibson in that one. He has 6 games with 200 yards or more. And he also leads the school in 300-yard passing games with 2. A negative, Jack also has the most career interceptions. This information comes from his dad, so I was allowed to share this on the air. But he also has the most career interceptions, so not really the stat you want. But most of the other one's pretty impressive. Jack and Brock, the two brothers, and both seniors, are 4 catches away from passing Caden Hammond and Tyler Lohman for top quarterback to wide receiver duo of all time as well. And then going to Brock Barta, he needs 121 yards receiving for a school single season yardage record. And then he needs 5 touchdown catches for a single season and single game touchdown record. That one a little bit tougher to hit tonight in one game. And also Brock needs 18 catches for all-time school record in a single game, and it would also be the state single game record for receptions at 18. So some pretty nice stats there for these guys in their career. Back to the leaders on the offense. Jack Barta has 14 touchdowns on the season. Now, down to Brock Barta, senior wide receiver, 61 catches, 595 yards with 7 touchdowns. Isaiah Gustav, a senior, he has 26 catches this year with 480 yards. Aiden Yearout, a senior, he has 88 carries for 610 yards and 9 touchdowns on the year. He actually broke a school record for longest run from scrimmage against Salmon with 90 yards. Caden Morris sadly got injured midway through the season, but he has 24 carries for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns on the year. And Isaiah Gustav has 2 kick returns for touchdowns on the season. Defensively, St. Mary's allowing 29 points per game, 310 yards per game, 101 yards passing, 209 yards rushing. Opponents have converted 28% of their third downs and 41% of their fourth downs. St. Mary's has forced 4 fumbles they recovered and have 4 interceptions on the year. St. Mary's is up there in sacks on the year in the 3A, as they have sacked the opposing quarterback 13 times and hurried him 42 times. Defensive leaders, Cody Mitchell, a junior, 62 tackles on the season, 2 sacks, 8.5 tackles for loss. Amato Stewart, a senior, 54 tackles with 2 sacks and 11 tackles for loss. Will Durham, a senior, 50 tackles, 6.5 tackles for loss and 2 sacks. Colin DeGravio, a senior, he has 3 tackles and 31 tackles and 5 tackles for loss. Aiden Yearout, senior, 26 tackles, 2 sacks, and 5 tackles for loss. Nate George, a sophomore, he has 20 tackles, 1 interception, and 13 passes defended on the season. Jackson Harold, a junior, 25 tackles, 10 passes defended, and some other names of note, Blaine Kusarick, Aiden Yearout, Kyle Smith, each have 2 sacks apiece. So let's look at your stats. We'll take a break, come back with more after this. When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, go Lumberjacks.
If you know which side of the saw cuts wood, and if you can hammer a nail, you can do it yourself. Carpentry, construction, finishing, or framing around here, you've got it made. You've got 10th Street Lumber. At 10th Street Lumber, we have the answers to your building and repair project questions. Every day, 10th Street Lumber helps homeowners get quality results. For lumber, block, power tools, fixtures, everything you need for a professional job. Don't pick up a nail until you shop 10th Street Lumber. 10th Street Lumber on the corner of 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255. And we're back here in Orofino, the Potlatch #1 Federal Credit Union countdown to kickoff. Tim Parrish, welcome to the broadcast. The Lumberjack boys headed back out onto the field. And let's talk the Orofino Maniacs a little bit. 3A Central Idaho League opponent. 0-3 in their league, 1-7 overall on the season. Last year they were 0-4 and 1-7. Their head coach this year is Seth Melton. It is his first year of trying to bring back this program up to the top. They lost to St. Mary's last year, 48-24 in St. Mary's. Some key returners for Orofino: Landon Connolly, a senior quarterback and safety. He was second-team All-League last year at wide receiver. Johnny Stars, he's a senior, running back and linebacker. He was first-team All-League at linebacker last year. Damian Harrell, he's a senior, second-team All-League last year at defensive line. Declan Crockett, a senior, he was second-team All-League last year for the Maniacs at DB. Key player lost last year for Orofino: Eddie Harrison, who was their top running back and linebacker. And some players to watch tonight for Orofino, some guys to look forward to going ahead as well next year. Liam Miller, a senior tight end and defensive end. He's a junior, not a senior. Blaine Johnson, a sophomore offensive lineman and linebacker. And Luke Defoe, a junior offensive line and linebacker. And real quick, let's see what they're doing. Let's see if we're going to do national anthem, I think, here shortly. So we'll take a break while they do the national anthem.
Fall is coming, and of course, cold weather. Now's the time to stock up on a few things. XXX Feeds has Legetic wood pellets in stock, and it's never too early to be ready for the cold weather. XXX Feeds also has alfalfa in stock as well as straw. And if you have some four-legged woodland friends that look a little hungry, XXX Feeds can keep you loaded up on deer feed and deer blocks. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop by XXX Feeds in St. Mary's today.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
St. Joe Oil isn't just a fuel delivery company. They provide a much larger service than most people realize. St. Joe Oil can sell you a brand new Toyo oil stove and install it for you, and also keep your oil tank full. Not only that, St. Joe Oil plays a very critical role in our local industries. From logging to farming, St. Joe Oil keeps the fuel tanks full. From heating oil to off-road diesel and everything in between, call St. Joe Oil, 208-245-2123. That's 208-245-2123. St. Joe Oil.
St. Mary's Realty is a St. Mary's icon. Why? Because they are a team. They work for you. And they've been a team for many years. Whether you are buying your first home, looking for a recreational cabin, or selling your current home, St. Mary's Realty puts their team on it for you. So stop in or give them a call today at 245-4502 and let their team be your team. That's St. Mary's Realty at 726 Main Avenue, St. Mary's.
And we are back as they start to get the starting lineups announced. But right now, we'll take you to the offensive starters for your Lumberjacks. Introducing your Lumberjack offensive starters.
Jack Barta, senior quarterback, number 13. Caden Morris, senior running back, number 31. Brock Barta, senior wide receiver, number 7. Isaiah Gustav, senior wide receiver, number 5. Grayson DeLong, senior wide receiver, number 2. Jackson Harold, wide receiver, number 6. Kyle Smith, left tackle, number 77, senior. Russell Brusso, number 58, senior. Michael Kohler, sophomore, number 70, center. Jason Pryor, number 59, left guard, senior. William Durham, senior, number 56, right guard.
And we're back at your offensive starters for the Lumberjacks. Now we'll give you the starters for the Maniacs. We got the number 3 of Leland Simmons, the number 5 of Jake Renner, the number, I think it was 6 of Johnny Stars, number 9. Let's see, I think it's number 9. Oh, number 10. Draven Garland. Number 11, Landon Connolly. Number 44, Chase Deo. Number 12 is Camden McCorkle. Number 65 of AJ Rasmussen. Number 70 of Ray Stars. Number 75, I think they said 75. Let's double check on the guy right now. No, 74, Ethan Gilmore. And I hope I got all 11 of them. But if not, I apologize. So that is the starting lineups announced out there on the field. And we're just moments away from getting this game underway here from Orofino High School. The teams will get their captains lined up, and they'll go out and meet with the officials, get the coin toss underway. The captains for St. Mary's, we've got the number 7 of Jack Barta, the number 11 of Colin DeGravio, the number 77 of Kyle Smith, the 58 of Russell Brousseau, and the 13 of, I said 7 of Jack Barta, 7 of Brock Barta, 13 of Jack Barta. And I can't quite see all of the captains for the Maniacs. I know we've got AJ Rasmussen, got McCorkle, and try to see as they're on the other side of the Lumberjacks, of course. Number 11, it looks like, of Connolly. 6 of Johnny Stars. Lumberjacks are wearing their road white jerseys. They've got the green numbers that have the gold around them and the black pants, gold helmets. The Maniacs in there all blue with white and dark, I think it's blue or black helmets.
You're listening to Lumberjack Sports on KOFE 1240 AM, St. Mary's, Idaho, North Idaho's classic hits.
So they're going over looking at the coin, going over some ground rules out there. They'll get the St. Mary's will call it in the air. And we'll see who wins the toss here. Not really a high advantage point for our coaches here, so the coaches are going to be on the sideline tonight. So St. Mary's, let's see here. Are they going to? So I think Orofino won the coin toss. St. Mary's will defend the west goal. They'll go left to right on your radio dial. All the captains shaking hands there, wishing each other a good game. And I'm not sure to see. We've got to see who I didn't catch who's going to kick off and who's going to return. So we'll let you know that here in just a short moment. When we totally know. All I know at the moment is St. Mary's is going to go left to right on your radio dial. Lumberjacks getting themselves pumped up here at the 50-yard line. So St. Mary's is going to kick off. So I don't know if St. Mary's won the toss, but the Lumberjacks will kick off. Doing the kickoff duties for St. Mary's is our senior spotlight. It's going to be Santiago Prinzato, the foreign exchange student from Italy. Back deep for the Maniacs is the number 6 of Stars and the number 11, I believe it is, of Connolly. So Santiago still wearing one of those pink socks. A few Lumberjacks wearing their pink socks. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Santiago has one pink sock and one black sock, it looks like. Santiago is our senior spotlight at halftime. Really fun interview with him. Be sure to stay tuned in then to hear that. And the kickoff is on the way. It'll be fielded it's going to actually roll past, so it's going to be fielded still on the ground. The Maniacs don't have the kickoff return they want, as Connolly has to jump on it. That ball is all the way back at the 5, I believe, and no return as Connolly jumps onto that. That ball is just bouncing around back there. And St. Mary's will have the Maniacs deep on their own side of the field. 1st and 10 for Orofino from their own 5-yard line. Orofino comes out of their huddle. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Their quarterback, can't quite see. I think it's Connolly. Takes the snap. Looks like he's going to throw. He's going to look that far side, but nobody there. The receiver threw that one way down the field, intended for, I believe, number 8, Welch. Incomplete. Well, it might have been number 9, because I do have a number 9. I didn't put him on this roster, but he is Caleb Kessinger. Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Maniacs at their own 5-yard line. 1 receiver, 2 receivers to the near side for the Maniacs. 2 to the far side. Going to take the snap. Going to be Connolly, I think, kept it up the middle himself. Going to pick up a handful. Russell Brousseau on the tackle. Picks up about 4. He's 3rd and 6, I believe, for Orofino. Backed up at their own 9-yard line. 1 receiver to the near side for the Maniacs, 1 to the top. Connolly under center. Connolly takes the snap. Going to roll. He's going to be buried in the backfield. I think that was a sack. Loses his helmet. And a bunch of Lumberjacks back there. Last one coming out was Colin DeGravio. Not sure if that was a sack or not, but we're going to call it a sack. They lost the 4 yards that they'd gained. And for now, we'll give Colin the credit. So 4th and 10 now for Orofino, deep on their own side of the field. They'll be punting from their own 5-yard line. Punter, I believe, is Johnny Stars. Back deep for St. Mary's is Isaiah Gustav. He's waiting at the Maniacs 40. It's a short punt, and it's going to take a Lumberjack bounce back towards the goal line. St. Mary's going to end up diving on it after Orofino touched it. And I think St. Mary's going to have that ball like the 14-yard line. So a very short punt. .18 to go, first quarter. No score on the board. Lumberjack offense comes out with a short field to work with. So Jack Barta, 141 yards away from being the all-time leading passer for yardage for St. Mary's High School. 3 receivers to the near side. Going to throw it into the flat. Little bob pass to Brock Barta. He's got an open lane, and he's going to dive to the pylon. And they're going to say just out of bounds at about the 1. We'll call it the 2-yard line. The first down for the Lumberjacks. First and goal at about the 2. Lumberjacks up to the line of scrimmage. Got the I formation. Chris Brousseau and Aiden Year out. In at tailback. Going to fake the handoff, and they actually give it to Russell Brousseau, who punches it in for the Lumberjack touchdown. St. Mary's gifted with a short field, and Russell Brousseau, the senior, it's only second or third carry on the season for him, as he's not typically in at running back, scores the first points for the Lumberjacks. Grayson DeLong will come in to attempt the extra point for St. Mary's. I think he has 10 extra points kicked on the season. No, it actually looks like St. Mary's going to go for the 2-point conversion. Barta going to throw. He's going to find Stewart in the end zone, and the Motto catches the 2-point conversion. And Lumberjacks go up 8-0 over the Maniacs here early on. And we'll take a quick break.
Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat, located next to Harvest Foods in St. Mary's. Open 24 hours, we have washers and dryers of all sizes to get your laundry done quickly. If you'd like to get your laundry done in less than 5 minutes, take advantage of our drop-off laundry service where we wash, dry, and fold it for you. While you do your laundry, be sure to take advantage of our touchless automatic car wash, which has that great undercarriage spray to get the grime off. Riverbend Car Wash and Laundromat can be found at riverbendbubbles.com or call 208-582-4844.
Drive recap for St. Mary's. 2 plays, 15 yards, and a touchdown. They took a whole 13 seconds off the clock. 10:05 to go in the first quarter. St. Mary's leads the Maniacs 8-0, and Santiago will kick off once again. Back deep for the Maniacs is Stars and Connolly. Looks like they're ready to go. Santiago will line up the Lumberjacks. Kick is on the way. Nice low line drive kick. Will be fielded at the 20 by Connolly. And going to find a little bit of room up the middle. Take that up past the 30. Tackled by, I think, William Durham might have been one of the guys in there on the tackle. So the Maniacs have a decent return there, about 10 yards. No, further than that. They're up to the 38-yard line. Give Will Durham the tackle. So first and 10 for the Maniacs. A little bit better starting field position for him this time. Connolly under center. Takes the snap. Ball is on the ground. I think Connolly able to get back on top of it. So the Maniacs will not really lose a bunch of yards, and they won't gain much, but it's going to be, I don't know if it was a bad snap or just a little bit of a mishandle there. So second and 10, I believe, for Orofino. They did mark them back a couple of yards, it looks like. We'll call it second and 12 on the 36-yard line. One receiver to the near side for the Maniacs. One other receiver on this near side, but kind of tight into the line. A couple of receivers far side. Man goes in motion, fakes the handoff to that guy. Going to hand it off up the middle, and Stars finds a big hole. Nice run by Johnny Stars as he's finally brought down by Stewart and a couple of other Lumberjacks, but it's in the St. Mary's territory. Johnny Stars with a heck of a burst of speed. And he'll take that ball to the Lumberjack 43 or so. Give Amato Stewart the tackle. Orofino quickly back to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Connolly under center. Man goes in motion from right to left, takes the snap, hands off to Stars. Another opening for him, not quite as many yards. St. Mary's able to collapse in there and bring him down. One of the guys on the tackle was, I believe, Wilcox. No, Nantel. Gain of 6 for Stars. Give Sawyer Nantel the tackle. 2nd and 4 for Orofino. Up to the line of scrimmage, they've got one receiver to each side. Connolly under center. 3 running backs in the backfield. Hands off first man through. DeGravio in there to help bring him down. I think that was Johnny Stars on the carry. Might have picked up almost enough for the first down. Going to be just short of the first down marker. So 3rd and about a yard to go for Orofino. On the Lumberjack 32-yard line. One receiver to the near side, one to the top of the formation. Connolly under center. Takes a snap, leans forward. He's going to push it forward, pick up a couple of yards there. Getting the tackle for St. Mary's. Looks like it was Russell Brousseau. So first down for Orofino as their drive continues. First and 10 for Orofino at the Lumberjack 30-yard line. 7:14 in counting for Orofino, or for the first period. Lumberjacks lead 8-0. First possession went about as bad as Orofino could have not wanted it to go, as far as being pinned all the way in their own end zone. Now they're moving along. 2 receivers, one to each side. Connolly under center. 3 running backs. Takes the handoff, or takes the snap, hands it off. Keeps his legs moving. Going to get a couple of yard gain for the running back. I didn't see who it was this time. Kyle Smith, one of the guys in on the tackle. Still trying to catch number 9, I believe it was, for Orofino. That is Caleb Kessinger. Only picked up a yard. Give Kyle Smith the tackle for now. 2nd and 9 for Orofino, up to the Lumberjack 29-yard line. Orofino run heavy, 1 receiver to each side of the formation, 3 running backs in the backfield. Actually, looks like 2 this time. Connolly takes snap, looks to throw. He's going to be pressured. Gets out of the pressure, though, where the Lumberjack defender bounced right off of him. And he took off upfield on a scramble. Coming in to make the tackle was Year out. And a few yard pickup on the scramble by Connolly. Year out. I never did catch the number if it was that flew right past him coming in trying to get the sack and just missed on his timing or his positioning to try to take him down in the backfield. 3rd and 7 for Orofino. 1 receiver to the near side. Looks like 1 to the far side. A couple of running backs in the backfield. Connolly under center. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff. Rolls to the far side. He's going to be a quarterback keeper. And he might get enough to get that for, the ball is out. And I think Orofino got back on it. I think Johnny Starr is able to dive on it. It's going to be enough for a first down for Orofino. Going to be about an 8-yard pickup. Johnny Starr is able to get back on that ball as it was loose. Didn't see who made the tackle for St. Mary's. So Orofino continues their drive. 3rd and 9, they were back 3rd and 7 or so, and they got out of trouble. 1st and 10 down to the Lumberjack 16-yard line. Going to get a snap, looking to run to the near side, the tackle in the backfield this time. I believe that's Year out and Cody Mitchell with the tackle for loss on Connolly. Going to be a 4-yard loss. Brings up 2nd and 14, roughly, for Orofino. Back to the 18 of St. Mary's. 1 receiver to each side of the formation for Orofino. Connolly goes into the shotgun. Running back, flank to the right of him. Takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to go into the middle of the field. They're going to get a flag. So I seen a jersey tug on one of the Lumberjacks coming through the line. There should have been a hold there, but they're going to get PI, it looks like, on St. Mary. No, it looks like it might be a face mask. See who it's going to go against. There's a penalty. The pass is incomplete. It is going to be called pass interference against the Lumberjacks. That'll be half the distance, I believe, to the goal. First and, not 20, first and, it says second and third, yeah, second and 4. Run up the middle by Stars on the next one. And that was actually, didn't give him an automatic first down because they didn't get enough yardage. It'll be 3rd and 3 for Orofino at the Lumberjack 8-yard line, it looks like. Man in motion, handoff, going to the near side, gets an opening, comes around the corner. St. Mary's can't stop him before he gets into the end zone. And I believe that was Kessinger with the touchdown run for Orofino. Running near side, got some good blocking out there. Let's reposition that to be at the 8-yard line because that's where it was. So Orofino brings it to within a 2-point conversion of being tied up here with the 8-yard run. 3:26 to go in the first quarter. Orofino going for 2. They've got one receiver to each side of the formation. Connolly goes under center. Nice long drive for the Maniacs on that possession. Connolly takes the snap. Going to keep it, rolls to that far side, and I don't think he's going to get in. The 2-point try is no good. So with 3:26 to go in the first quarter, St. Mary's leads at 8-6. That was a 12-play drive for 62 yards for Orofino. They took 6 minutes and 39 seconds off the clock. The Maniacs will be kicking off the Lumberjacks when we return.
Whistle Stop Coffee and More has come a long way from the little shop on Railroad Avenue. How far? Not only did they upgrade their Railroad Avenue location, they added a second location. That second location for Whistle Stop Coffee and More is on 313 St. Joe River Road. Both locations offer tasty drinks of coffee, Red Bull, or Lotus Energy, and food options, from acai bowls to cookies and delicious bagel sandwiches. Whistle Stop Coffee and More is the perfect stop for a quick bite and a drink on your way to work or school. Whistle Stop Coffee and More in St. Mary's.
And we are back. Orofino will be kicking off. See who the kickoff specialist is for the Maniacs. It looks to be Johnny Stars. Back deep for the Lumberjacks is Gustav, Barda, and Christopher Brousseau. So they'll get this thing kicked off. Score 8-6 in favor of St. Mary's. Again, nice long drive by the Maniacs on that last possession. It's going to be a short kick. It's going to take a bounce. Gustav will pick it up at about the 25. He heads to that far side of the field looking for blockers. Gets loose from a couple. Looks like he's going to be taken down at about the 40. They're still pushing. Maybe the ball came, I don't know, the way they were yelling, I thought maybe the ball came out, but I guess not. I think it was. Isaiah will return that ball to the 44-yard line. And that's where St. Mary's will start their second drive of the game, a little bit further back from the end zone than they did the first drive. 1st and 10 for St. Mary's on their own 44-yard line. Again, 3:16 to go in the first quarter of play. Three receivers to the near side for St. Mary's. One to the top of the formation. Barda in the shotgun. Takes the snap, high snap, pulls it down, looking to throw. He's going deep on a wheel route to his brother, and Brock didn't kind of cut up field in time. Going to be incomplete. Second and 10 for St. Mary's. Sitting at the 44-yard line. Two receivers to the near side. Looks like two to the top of the formation. Quads for St. Mary's. Barda takes the snap. Looks to throw. Bob pass out into the flat to Jack, or to Brock. Brock gets the sideline. He's going to cross into Lumberjack, or Maniac territory, gets down to the 40 before being forced out of bounds. Here's Simmons in pursuit. We're going to mark that at the 43 of Orofino. First and 10 for St. Mary's into Maniac territory. Again, two receivers near side, two to the top of the formation. Barta in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it off to Year Out. Year Out, hit at the line of scrimmage. Is going to get just across the line. Picks up about a yard. Making the tackle for Orofino, the number 65 of Rasmussen. Going to give him like 1 yard pickup for Year Out. Second 9 for Lumberjacks on the Orofino 42. Two receivers near side, two to the top. Barta in the shotgun, flanked by Year Out. Takes the snap, or not, to Brousseau. Is going to hand it off to Brousseau. Brousseau keeping those legs moving, but still only going to maybe get, he might have only got to the line of scrimmage. No gain for Chris Brousseau. Brings up third and about 9. One receiver to the near side, two to the top, two to the bottom. Barta in the shotgun, third and long, takes the snap, looks to throw, finds Gustav on the far side. Gustav tries to step out of a tackle. I think he's going to get just enough for the first as he's across the 35 at about the 34-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, I believe. Oh, yeah, it's 4th and 1. Not quite enough for the first down. St. Mary's going to go for it, of course, in Maniac territory. Comes up about 1.5 yards short of that first down marker. One receiver near side, one to the top. Everybody else in tight I formation. Going to flip it out to, I believe that's Year Out. Year Out to the edge. Down the sideline with blockers, and he's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, St. Mary's. Let's see, that was a 34-yard run for the senior. I believe that's the 10th touchdown or 11th touchdown of the season for Aiden. 1:23 to go in the first quarter. St. Mary's lining up to go for 2 once again. Barta takes a snap, rolls to the near side, fakes like he's going to pitch it out, shrugs off a tackle attempt by Garland and steps into the end zone. So Lumberjacks gets a 2-point conversion on the run by Jack Barta. Lumberjacks extend their lead 16-6. It was a 6-play drive for 56 yards. They took 2 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock. St. Mary's up 16-6. We'll be back. Does your furry friend need a bath? Don't want to deal with the hassle and the mess from bathing your furry friend? Make an appointment with Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop today. Barks and Bubbles, located at 402 North 10th Street in St. Mary's, will have your furry friend looking and feeling like $1 million in no time. And guess what? No mess at home, no scratches, and no getting soaked from head to toe. Let Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop handle the work. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop also offers pet boarding. Call for an appointment today at 208-245-5755. That's 208-245-5755. Barks and Bubbles Groom Shop in St. Mary's. And we are back. St. Mary's with the 16-6 lead over Orofino. Early first, or about 3/4 of the way through the first period. That was the 10th touchdown for the senior running back, Aiden Year Out. 35-yard scamper for him. Franzato with his third kickoff of the night. Again, he's our senior spotlight coming up at halftime. Lines up the Lumberjacks. The kick is on the way. That's going to be fielded at about the 21-yard line. Up the middle, tackled by, I believe that was Will Durham picking up the tackle. There is a flag. It was Johnny Stars with the return. .37-yard line. Thought I seen I guess there wasn't a flag. I thought I seen a flag on the field. So 1st and 10 for Orofino on their own 37-yard line. One receiver to the top, one to the bottom. 3 running backs in the backfield. Connolly under center. Connolly takes the snap. Little screen play. That was a backwards pass. Chris Brousseau picks it up and heads to the end zone. And we'll see if they do call it a touchdown, but that was definitely a backwards pass. And St. Mary's scores on a offensive boo-boo by Orofino. And it's going to be a fumble returned by Chris Brousseau, basically, I think, is what that goes down as. Let's see. I'm going to have to call that, I think, a fumble. Lateral? I don't know. We'll call it a fumble for now because I don't know what lateral does in this stats program. It was recovered by Chris Brousseau, the junior, who took it to the house. 1:05 to go. So defense coming up for the Lumberjacks on that play. Going to have that throw out to Year out on the far side for the 2-point attempt, and not going to be able to get it in. It's no good. So 1:05 to go in the first quarter. St. Mary's up 22-6 over the Maniacs. That was a one-play drive, -2 yards for the Maniacs, and a 35-yard fumble return is what I called it for now. That Chris Brousseau picked up and took it to the house. As I don't know if there's a stat, and it's probably just considered a fumble in this case. So St. Mary's will kick off again. Lumberjacks quickly up 2 scores. That ball, the receiver, I didn't see who it was who was supposed to catch it for Orofino, but it just kind of a rainbow pass, kind of bobbled around in his hands a little bit and fell to the ground. Chris Brousseau, they haven't really had that happen all season, or they haven't seen it, and Chris Brousseau picked it up, and everybody was yelling to run. They switched out one of our kick return guys. I think it was number 55 of Blaine Kuserick, and put in Harley Dutton on kickoff. Prinzado lines up the Lumberjacks, waiting to get the go-ahead for the kickoff. This is his 4th kickoff of the season, of the night. Earlier in the season, midway through the season, he led the state and Central Idaho League in kickoff yardage. Kickoff is on the way. Nice kick to the 20. Returned by, trying to see a number on the returner. He gets to that far side. He's going to get close to the 50. I think it was Johnny Stars again with the tackle. Johnny Stars with the return. I think he brought that out to the 44-yard line of Orofino. Did not see who made the tackle for the Lumberjacks on that one. So it's 1st and 10 for Orofino from their own 44-yard line. One receiver to the near side, one to the top. 3 running backs in the backfield. Connolly under center. Connolly. Oh, that's probably going to be a false start on Orofino, and it is. A couple Lumberjacks did move as well, but Orofino, their player, moved first. So it'll be 1st and 15 back to the Orofino 39-yard line. Again, one receiver to the near side for the Maniacs. Looks like one to the top of the formation. Connolly under center. 3 running backs in the backfield. Connolly takes a snap, hands it off, first man through. I believe that was Stars. Ball is loose. And I think it kind of looked like the Lumberjack player was kind of watching it roll there for a second. I think Orofino got back on it. I think it was Stars with the carry. St. Mary's, somebody got a hit on him and knocked that ball loose. And it looked like one of the Lumberjack defensive guys was kind of watching it bounce and not trying to jump on it. Orofino able to recover it. Gained a couple of yards on it. 2nd and 13 for the Maniacs. One receiver to the near side, one to the top. Connolly goes under center once again. Couple of running, actually it's more like a 4-receiver set. Man goes in motion. Handoff up the middle. Stars, I think, has it. One of the guys in on the tackle is Smith. They're driving him back. It was Kyle Smith and Amato Stewart on the tackle for a short gain. I actually think there was no gain on the play. The two seniors collab on the tackle there, and that'll end the first quarter. St. Mary's leads 22-6 over the Maniacs here in Orofino. We'll be back.
There's a new shop on Main Street in St. Mary's. It's a gift shop. It's a home decor shop. It's a jewelry shop. It's a shop of bare necessities. Bare Necessities Trading Company is located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's and has just about anything you could think of. From rocks and minerals to specialty foods, knives, and handcrafted soaps and lotions, there really is too much to list. So stop by at Bare Necessities Trading Company today and pick up a gift, something new for your house, or a cup of coffee. That's Bare Necessities Trading Company, located at 822 Main Avenue in St. Mary's.
And we are back. Start of the second quarter. St. Mary's leads 22-6 over the Maniacs here in Orofino. Central Idaho League matchup tonight. Final game of the regular season. Mentioned earlier, St. Mary's, albeit a slim chance, there's still a slight chance for them to hit the playoffs. Lumberjacks lead, like I said, 22-6, getting ready to start the second quarter. Orofino 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8. Yeah, no, it's 3rd and more than that because it was 3rd and 13 a minute. They were 3rd and 15, so it's about 3rd and... Oh, maybe that run was longer than that. It actually looks like they are in back ahead of the regular line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 8, according to that, up to the 47 of St. Mary's. Orofino with a receiver to each side, then a couple of wing backs and a running back flanking Connolly. Connolly in the shotgun, takes a snap, looks to throw, has pressure. The pressure gets around a big hit on the quarterback as he throws it up. It's going to be picked off by Colin DeGravio as Will Durham applies the pressure. Colin down the far side, finally tackled out of bounds down to about the Maniac 25-yard line. I don't know who the target was. Colin DeGravio gets the return as that pressure hit Connolly right in the face as he released that ball, and it just kind of high-arcing pass. It just fell right into Colin's arms, and St. Mary's will be 1st and 10 at the Maniac 27-yard line. Going to be a 32-yard return for DeGravio on the interception return. Another one of the Lumberjack seniors. St. Mary's comes out with a 4-receiver set. Man goes in motion from right to left, takes a snap, hands it off. That's Jackson Harold. Maniacs sniff that. No, Jackson stays on his feet. He's still fighting to try to at least get back to the line of scrimmage, but a valiant effort by Harold, but I think he loses a few yards on that one. Trying that like jet sweep type of play there, and it's actually a big loss. That's going to be about 7 yards in the negative for the Lumberjacks. Jackson did a good job of spinning off of the first tackler. Orofino had a couple more guys there to fill that hole and not let him get back to that line of scrimmage. Second, about 16 yards for St. Mary's. 2 receivers to the far side, 1, 2 to the bottom. Empty backfield. Barta looks to throw. He's going to the end zone. Jack Barta has to readjust, and he's going to take it down to the end zone. Touchdown, St. Mary's on the 33-yard connection from Barta to Barta. It was a good job by Brock to adjust on that route because that ball was not necessarily perfectly thrown, but the defender didn't look back and see where it was at, and Brock was able to readjust himself to get to the ball. Then he spun off of a couple of guys and took it into the end zone. Makes the score 28-6, pending the extra point. St. Mary's still going for 2 here. Now they're bringing everybody, they're going to kick the extra point. Grayson DeLong, the senior. Jack Barta, the holder. Takes the snap. Ball is down. Kick is up. And that is good. I believe it's 11 extra points kicked by Grayson DeLong, another senior for the Lumberjacks this year. It's not very often you have a kicking game at the high school level, and St. Mary's has been blessed to have Grayson DeLong be able to kick, and he came over from Wenatchee High School, but he had never really kicked over there, but he didn't do too bad in practice. 29-6, St. Mary's leads. It was a two-play drive, 27 yards after the Orofino turnover. St. Mary's took just about a minute off the clock. Bronzato to kick off. Lumberjacks up 29-6. St. Mary's with a 23-point lead at the moment over Orofino. Orofino still huddled up with their coaches. Now they break the huddle. Return team headed out. Johnny Stars and Connolly out there to return. Bronzato to kick off for St. Mary's. He has one touchback on the season. Told me that he would love to get one more touchback. But so far he's been kicking it to about the 20 tonight. So has to keep adjusting his spot on that ball where he's hitting it and see if he can get that a little bit lower line drive, a little bit more distance on it. 10:53 to go in the half. 29-6. St. Mary's leads. The Maniacs kickoff coming up as the ball is on the way. There's a beautiful kick. That's going to be fielded at the 20. Going to go reverse to Stars. Stars gets some room to run up the middle. Finally going to be brought down. Took about 3 Lumberjacks to corral him. One of those guys is Sawyer Nantel. And Johnny appears to be a little shaken up, and we'll hope that he's okay as the team's take a knee out there. That ball looks like it was returned to the 40. We'll call it the 40. And we'll take a break while they check on Johnny Stars.
It's not just saving. It's preparing your kids for college, owning your tomorrow, and saying yes to that home, trip, or the next chapter. At P1FCU, we believe saving should work as hard as you do because every dollar you set aside is a step toward freedom. We're not just your credit union, we're your future's biggest fan. Explore better banking with P1FCU. Learn more at p1fcu.org. Insured by NCUA.
And we are back, and they do get Johnny up, help him off to the side. He is not really totally walking on his own, but he is putting weight on both feet, so hopefully he'll be okay. He is a senior running back for the Maniacs. Never like to see anybody injured, especially seniors. So hopefully he'll get to return to the game. So the Maniacs start 1st and 10 on their own 41-yard line after the kick return for 20 yards, I believe. No, for 40 yards. That wasn't a 40-yard return. Orofino comes out with one receiver to the top, one to the bottom. Connolly goes back under center. 2 running backs lined up behind him. Takes the snap, pitches it back. Had a little bit of a handoff. The ball on the ground. A little bit of trouble on that handoff, and the Maniacs luckily get on top of it as Chase Deo is the one that falls on it. Had a 4-yard loss, and I didn't see who made the tackle for St. Mary's. 2nd and 14. Again, that was bobbled double handoff there. Maniacs able to get back on it. I think the 3rd fumble tonight that Orofino's been able to jump back on top. See Harley Dutton out there in defense for the Lumberjacks. Harley's just a sophomore, and the Maniacs take the snap, looking to run on that far side. Connolly jukes out Chris Brousseau for a second. Finally going to get slung down. Nice pickup by Connolly. Going to pick up a good chunk of that lost yardage. Going to get that ball almost to the 50. It's going to be at the 40, call it the 48. Gain of 12. Didn't see who made the tackle on that far side of the field. Looks like about 3 yards long. 4 to go for Orofino. 3rd and about 4. One receiver to each side for the Maniacs. Couple of running backs. Now they split another running back out. Connolly under center. Takes the snap. Ball on the ground again. Having some trouble with that exchange, and Connolly's going to get taken down in the backfield by a couple of Lumberjacks, Rousseau and there's a flag that comes out. Rousseau and Durham with the tackle, but there's going to be a face mask against the Lumberjacks. So good defensive play, but that face mask will give, I think it's a 10-yard penalty in high school for that. So we'll give them a first down up to the 40-yard line of St. Mary's. The Maniacs get a first down by penalty. They are right on the Lumberjack 40-yard line. Score 29-6, St. Mary's leads. Orofino's had some troubles with their handoffs. They've had a couple of fumbles, and they did get the one interception by St. Mary's. 2 turnovers so far by Orofino. One receiver to the bottom, one to the top. Connolly under center, takes a man in motion, fakes a handoff to the guy in motion, hands it off the other way, into the hands of number 9. That was Kessinger. Stewart in there on the tackle. 6-yard pickup for the Maniacs. Brings up 2nd and 4 for Orofino. Up to the Lumberjack 34-yard line. Orofino again, a 2-receiver set, a couple of wing backs. Connolly under center with a running back behind him. Takes the snap, keeps it himself. Wow, finds a gap right up the middle. Nice, powerful run there by Connolly. He's brought down by Wilcox. That ball will be to the 23 or 4 yard line of the Lumberjacks. Connolly just put his head down that burst of speed right out of the gate, right through that Lumberjack defensive line. 2 receiver, a couple of wing backs, I guess is what you call them. 1 receiver to the near side, 1 to the top. Eye backs, handed off up the middle. That's Kessinger. He'll pick up a few before being brought down. DeGravio in on the tackle. A couple of other Lumberjacks in there as well. 4-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 6 for the Maniacs. Down under 7 minutes to go in the first half. 29-6, Lumberjacks with the lead. Looks like we got the 2 wing backs, 1 running back, 2 receivers. Connolly in the shotgun, takes a snap, looks to throw, flushed out of the pocket, got out of DeGravio's hands, but can't get out of the big Cody Mitchell's hands, and a late flag. I'm gonna call it a scramble. I don't think he lost a yard. I think he got back to at least the line of scrimmage. See what the flag is. Officials talking about it. Not sure what the call was. It looks like it's going against the Maniacs. A personal foul against Orofino. So the Maniacs will back it up by, I think, 15 yards. It was after the play. It doesn't matter. It wasn't a first down. So they're going to mark that ball back to the 35 of Orofino. Or of St. Mary's, I should say. So it should be 2nd and about 21 yards for the Maniacs. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the top, 2 to the top. Gonna throw, quick pass, gonna get it complete. Short gain, there to make the tackle is Harold. The reception by Kessinger. And another flag, I think, heard him say. The ineligible man down by... Oh, St. Mary's going to decline it. I forgot who made the tackle for the Lumberjacks. That's the... So St. Mary's declines the kick, the penalty. Fourth down. Going to get another throw by the Maniacs. Looking to the end zone. Coming out and putting pressure on Connolly was Cody Mitchell. And it'll be incomplete, and St. Mary's will take over on downs. .4:59 to go in the half. And Lumberjacks have the ball at the 30-yard line of their own 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 at their own 30. St. Mary's with a 4-receiver set. Barta takes the snap, hands it off to Year Out, gets off of one tackler, still running. Near side, gets out to about the 40, close to a first down for Year Out. And it will be a 10-yard pickup exactly for the Lumberjacks. 1st and 10 up to the 41 of St. Mary's, St. Mary's. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top. Barta in the shotgun, takes the snap, high snap, pulls it down, gets it off to Brousseau. No, it's who has the ball? Jack Barta capping, he's down the sideline, steps out at the Maniac 40-yard line. I thought he handed that off to Chris Brousseau. And we have either a flag and an injury after the play. I heard a lot of whistles and some yellings. I don't know what happened. The penalty was after the play. And that penalty might end up against St. Mary's. 44 Chase Deo was the one down. He gets up, heads off the sideline. See what this flag is. I was looking down at my stats. So I didn't see what happened, but I think we might have a personal foul or something against St. Mary's. Waiting to see the actual call. So it was a personal foul against St. Mary's after the play was over, so that St. Mary's would have... I'm pretty sure that what happens there, St. Mary's gets the first down, but now they're going to be marked back. Oh, that happened well after the play, so I don't know why they're marking St. Mary's back 15 yards from the original line of scrimmage. Wow. They're all the way back to the 30-yard line. First and 29, according to the scoreboard. Handoff to Year Out. Far side. He's got a lane and blockers. Down to the 20, the 10, 5, and Year Out takes it to the house after the penalty. And we got some other whistles. Do we have any penalty flags? Yes. There's a penalty flag at the 50-yard line. Have a penalty. This has been a nasty series as far as penalties are concerned. It was a 69-yard run for Year Out, but it's going to come back for a holding penalty. It'll be a repeat the down. Holding against St. Mary's, so they'll gain a few yards out of it, but not much. It's going to be up to about the 40-yard line is where St. Mary's will be. Going to take a handoff near side for Year Out. Year Out gets the edge on this side. Sheds off one tackler, gets past another, stiff arms a third, finally taken out of bounds at the 35. So Year Out runs that one and picks up the first down. They got that down to 30, put it right at the 35. 36-yard run for Year Out. So 1st and 10 with 3:58 to go after all those penalties a minute ago. One receiver near side, two to the top of the formation. Barta in the shotgun, takes a snap and throws it out to Speakman. Speakman down that far side. He's headed towards the end zone. Stiffs arm a guy, gets taken down, forced out of bounds at about the 5. Actually, yeah. Looks like he got inside the 5, but it's hard to tell from this angle. This junior, Marcus Speakman with the reception, and it's going to be inside the 10. It's going to be about 7-yard line, it looks like. So 28-yard catch and run for Speakman. Gives St. Mary's 1st and goal at the 8. 3:23 and counting in the first half. St. Mary's leads 29-6. Wilcox in at running back for the Lumberjacks. Barta in the shotgun. 2 receivers set. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff. Rolls to the near side. He's going to find, who is that in the end zone? Oh, they say it's incomplete. I think it was Amato Stewart, and Amato rolled. I kind of thought Amato let it go at the end, thinking maybe he did drop it, but I thought he was letting it go more as a I caught it and I'm good, but the officials say no, incomplete pass. I think it might have popped loose late. It brings up 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Nice play design for the Lumberjacks. I think he just let that one a little bit too far out in front of him, made it a tougher catch than it needed to be. Barta takes a snap, kind of high, hands it off to Wilcox. Wilcox up the middle with a big hole. Bounces off of a defender and touchdown St. Mary's. That is Logan Wilcox, I think, not his first carry of the season, but his first touchdown of the year for the junior. 7-yard run by Wilcox. 2:54 to go in the first half. St. Mary's extends it to 35-6, pending the extra point try. Or 2-point try, and it will be extra point. They have the key out there. So Grayson DeLong to attempt the extra point. Take the snap, hold is down, kick is up, and that one looks wide, and it is. Wide to the left. So with 2:54 to go, it's 35-6 in favor of the Lumberjacks here in Orofino. It was a 5-play drive for 67 yards. St. Mary's took 2 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock. It was capped off with about an 8-yard run by Logan Wilcox for the touchdown. We'll be back with the Lumberjack kickoff.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's.
And we are back, and we mentioned that Jack Barta was 141 yards away from the all-time passing record for yardage for St. Mary's High School, and now he is at about 55 or so yards away from that record, 96 yards in the first half so far. St. Mary's may or may not get another chance with the ball here in the first half. We'll see. Kickoff coming from Santiago Prinzado. Coming up at halftime, be sure to stay tuned in for the senior spotlight. Again, we are featuring that exchange student from Italy, Santiago Prinzado. It's the Lumberjacks lined up. Kick is on the way. Nice deep kick, filled it up inside the 20. Return to this near side. Connolly with a little bit of a lane, and he's finally going to be brought down as he gets to about the 50-yard line. One of the Lumberjacks in there on the tackle, I think, was Kusarik. Nice return for the Maniacs. No, Asher Blankenship, one of the guys in there on the tackle. It's actually at the 49-yard line. The Maniacs have 2:47 before the half, 3 timeouts, and they are just barely on their side of the field. It's their own 49-yard line. Maniacs break the huddle, coming up to the line of scrimmage. Harley Dutton back in there on defense. I think she's at nose guard. Going to get a timeout taken by the Maniacs here. There's Orofino taking a little bit too much time getting that play into the huddle. So a quick timeout. We'll be right back.
When you think of PotlatchDeltic, you might think logs or lumber. When I think about PotlatchDeltic, I think of family, community, compassion. You see, PotlatchDeltic is more than some company in St. Mary's. PotlatchDeltic is a community supporter in more ways than one. Whether it's donating to a fundraiser or nonprofit group, or giving a high schooler a summer job that could very well turn into a career, PotlatchDeltic is there for our community. We, for one, want to thank PotlatchDeltic for what they do and hope that you will also. PotlatchDeltic, proud supporters of, well, St. Mary's.
You're listening to Lumberjack Sports on KOFE 1240 AM, St. Mary's, Idaho, North Idaho's classic hits.
And we are back here at Lumberjack Field. It is 2:47 to go before the half. St. Mary's leads at 35-6 over the Maniacs. It is 1st and 10, Maniac ball at their own 49-yard line. Orofino has all of their timeouts left. Well, no, 2 timeouts left now. They just took their first timeout of the half. One receiver to the near side, one to the top. Going to get the snap. Connolly looks to throw. No, that's not Connolly. That's number 13. I'll get you who that is in a minute. It's going to be picked off by Wilcox inside the 24-yard line. And he'll return it. So another interception for the Lumberjacks. I need to add a number 13 into my roster for Orofino. Intercepted by DeGravio at about, I think I said the 19. Or no, not DeGravio, it was Wilcox. And St. Mary's returns that up to the 36-37. 2:37. St. Mary's with the ball. Lumberjacks come out with a 4-receiver set. Man goes in motion. Going to hand it off. Coming near side. That's Prinzado. Shakes off one tackle. Another one up the sideline. Has some blockers in front of him. And finally brought down across the 50. And he'll be first down for the Lumberjacks at about the Maniac 40-yard line. That'll be marked at the Orofino 49-yard line. It was a 14-yard gain by the exchange student, Santiago Prinzado. Second carry of the season for Santiago. Going to take the snap is Barta. He's going to throw it. He's got Jackson Harold. Jackson makes the catch down the sideline. Jack was hit right as he got rid of that ball, I guess. Going to be about a 10-yard pickup, I think, for Jackson Harold. Brings up 1st and 10 from the Maniac 38-yard line. Clock down to 1:45. St. Mary still has all 3 timeouts. Lumberjacks with 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Barta needs about 40 yards now. Going to hand it off to Yearout. Yearout with a decent hole to run up, but going to be tackled from behind by the 65 of Rasmussen. 1-yard pickup by Yearout. And I think St. Mary's going to take one of their timeouts. Clock is still, now they stopped the clock, but about 5 seconds ticked off there. 1 minute and 16 seconds before halftime. St. Mary's uses their first timeout. St. Mary's leads at 35-6 over Orofino. Take one more look at those stats real quick. Sparta is less than 40 yards away from that record. And they're 36 yards out from the end zone. So if they do score on the long pass here, it's not going to be quite enough to get that record yet for Jack Barta. St. Mary's heads back out. Lumberjack offense rolling pretty good. A few penalties in that one stretch that was just interesting for some of them. We got 3 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Barta in the shotgun, flanked by Year Out. Or Barta takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to flush out to that far side. He's going to throw. He's got his brother wide open. Caught, touchdown, St. Mary's. Barta went into the Jack Barta had to scramble to the far side. The defender, I think, let Brock go on his route to kind of come down and try to contain Jack and left him wide open. It was an easy toss and catch for the touchdown. And like I said, that throw not quite enough to get the record for Jack yet. .108 to go. 41-6, St. Mary's leads. A minute to go before halftime. St. Mary's kicking the extra point. Grayson DeLong to kick. St. Mary's going to fake it. Grayson DeLong with the throw to the end zone. It's caught by Amato Stewart for the 2-point conversion. And Lumberjacks take the lead 43-6. 4 plays, 63 yards for the Lumberjacks on that possession. Minute 29 off the clock. The Lumberjacks will kick off. We'll be back.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Idaho. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSAA and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
And we are back, and I do have to correct myself. I was off on my math, and that completion should give Jack Barta the all-time passing yardage record at St. Mary's High School as he takes that over from Kiefer Gibson. So congratulations to Jack Barta on that career number and career record set there. I need to look and see how many yards Jack had. It's over 3,000 yards in his career. So congratulations to Jack. I actually think his dad was telling him he was there. I wish I wouldn't have had my math wrong on that one. Going to be a kickoff from Pranzato. Fielded at about the 20. Johnny Starr's back into the game for Orofino, so that's good to see. And the Maniacs will have a minute 2 here before halftime. And they'll be at the 36 or so. I think that was all the way back there. So the Maniacs have a minute 2 to go. I know Coach Barta was really hoping I would get the perfect call when he did make that completion and for the record, but I did my math wrong and it messed me up. 1 receiver to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. Looking to throw is the 13. He's going to look for his receiver. He's got him. That's Connolly, far side. And Connolly will be taken out of bounds by Stewart at about the Orofino 45-yard line. 9 or 10-yard pickup there. Amato Stewart gets the tackle. Orofino quickly to the line of scrimmage. That stops the clock. They do have a couple of wide receivers. Looking to throw is the number 13. And Amato Stewart had an opportunity, an interception in the middle of the field. He knew it because he watched that ball go past him, and then he probably could have stepped in front of it. intended receiver was number 3 of Simmons. Amato afterwards put his hands up on his helmet like, oh, man, I should have had that. Another snap back. 13 looking to throw. He's going to be pressured. He's going to throw it to the ground. I think that's going to be grounding. Now there's a late flag. They whistle the play dead. Oh, I think that's going to be that's going to be the intentional grounding penalty there. So move the Maniacs back, I believe, 5, and also they lose their down. It's actually 4th and 15. Back to the 30. Orofino going to punt, it looks like, is Connolly back there. Takes the snap. Gets the kick away. Nice punt. Going to take a Maniac bounce all the way to the 30. Amato touches it, tries to pick it up, has to fall on it as the Orofino pressure coming in there to make the stop and try to get that ball recovered. And so it'll be inside the 20. All right, inside the 30 at the 27. Let's call that no return. 34 seconds on the clock. Lumberjacks lead at 43-6 as we are getting ready to head into halftime. See what St. Mary's does here. See if they come out and run a play or if they kneel it down to go into the half. Looks like the victory, the kneel down, and St. Mary's will kneel it down. And let that clock tick down. I don't know if they have to kneel it down one more time or not. We'll see. And I don't think they do. So we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back with our senior spotlight, Santiago Prinzado, and we'll look at the halftime stats. Well. Are you in need of a reputable, experienced, and knowledgeable well drilling and pump company? Look no further than Interstate Drilling and Pump. Interstate Drilling and Pump drills new wells, deepens existing wells, installs and repairs pumps, and does well testing both for water quality and gallons per minute. Interstate Drilling and Pump has 24-plus years of experience and serves from Moscow to Rathdrum and the Silver Valley. Well, what are you waiting for? Get on their schedule today. That's Interstate Drilling and Pump, 208-245-5101. 208-245-5101, Interstate Drilling and Pump.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care. So you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
Janelle Martin Holmes, your Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's, is a proud Lumberjack supporter because they're her hometown team. When it comes to insurance, that's also one reason so many people in St. Mary's choose Farm Bureau insurance. They have a complete line of insurance products including auto, home, commercial, and life, plus they have great customer service and competitive rates. And they're also a local company with local agents right here in St. Mary's. So let's hear it for our hometown teams. Contact Janelle Martin Holmes, your local Farm Bureau insurance agent in St. Mary's at 105 North 8th Street, St. Mary's.
Like most backseat drivers, I'm all about safety. Jack, pothole.
Got it.
So Les Schwab Tires makes my job easy. With services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Those cheap tire centers just throw on tires. That's it. Now, I'm not telling people how to do their job. Linker. I'm just glad Les Schwab takes safety as seriously as me.
Help keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Les Schwab tires. Doing the right thing since 1952.
It's in Park, right?
And it's time for our senior spotlight for today's broadcast. And we have not only is he a senior for St. Mary's, but he's also our exchange student here in St. Mary's this year. From Italy, it's Santiago Prinzato. Hey, thanks for talking with us.
Hey, thank you for calling me in.
All right. So tell me, what sports do you play?
I play football and track.
All right. Which one of them is your favorite and why?
I will say track. I've been doing it for a longer time. Also, I achieved pretty high level back in my country. So.
All right. This is probably your first time playing football?
Yeah, it was.
What have you thought about playing football?
It's a great sport. It's completely different of how they draw it in Italy, how they talk about it. So it's,
what has playing sports taught you?
For sure, discipline. Never letting go on any objective you put in your life, and of course, how to make friends very quickly.
What is one of your favorite things about playing sports?
Well, of course, the friendships you can make while practicing, the hard work they give you, and the results.
So what is one of your least favorite things?
I guess losing, like everybody. It's not fun, but it can still teach you something.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite pro sports team and player?
Are we talking about only football?
No, any sport.
Okay, then I'll say probably in soccer, my favorite team is Juventus. It's a city from almost across the country, but it's like it's culture for my family. And probably I will say my favorite player, it's Juan Cuadrado from Colombia. He's I grew up watching him, so that's why.
All right. What are your goals this year on and off the field or track?
Well, on the field, I would say I want to kick another touchback for sure. That was a unique moment. And on track, I'm aiming at both the 100 and 200 meter records of the school.
All right. So, what about just goals in school?
In school, well, I mean, of course, I'm enjoying the experience, trying to learn as much as I can, mostly with English and the culture here. So, yeah, bring home as many things as I can.
All right, this is our senior spotlight. We're talking with Lumberjack senior and exchange student Santiago Prinzato. We'll take a quick break and be back.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those lumberjacks.
And this is our senior spotlight. We have Lumberjack senior Santiago Prinzato. What are your plans after high school?
After high school here in St. Mary's, I'm moving back to Italy, and I will have sadly to finish my school year over there because we have 13 grades, which makes it a little bit tougher. But after that, I'm planning on going to university. If I can take a scholarship and go to Netherlands to study IT, it would be great. If I can't, I will consider coming back to the U.S.
What is your favorite subject in school?
I will say welding. It's fun.
Who's somebody that you look up to in your life?
Hard question, but I will say that when I look up often at my science teacher back in Italy. He's a great man. He taught me a lot of things about life.
All right. Do your teammates have a nickname for you?
Yeah, they call me Usually Santi, but also the coaches, they started calling me Little Slice of Italy. Yeah.
What has been your most memorable moment so far?
I will say, in general, the first moment I entered the school, like it was incredible, like seeing how different the schools here, and on the field, I will say definitely that touchback. It's like as I said before, it's unique. It was a unique moment.
Okay. And since you are an exchange, still want to add just one extra question before the final question is, what has your experience been like in the United States so far?
It's been amazing. The culture here, it's lovely. It's very nice going everywhere, and everybody is open to talk to you, and it's something that I'm not used to, because in Italy they are more closed. The culture is more closed, and it makes it fun. Makes you enjoy better being around. So.
And I guess one more. Has there been any kind of food or something that you don't have in Italy that you've tried that you?
Oh, I'm gonna say probably. I don't say that I don't like them, because I've tried a lot of things. The only things I don't like are things with a lot of garlic. That we here, it's way more used than what I'm used to. Yeah.
All right. So, do you have anybody that you'd like to thank?
Well, of course, my coaches, my teammates, my host parents, and everybody who's my friend here in my life, and you for calling me in, obviously.
All right. Well, Santi, we want to wish you good luck and enjoy the rest of your time here. And thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
It's been our Senior Spotlight. We'll take another break, and we'll come back with more after this.
If you want the best, you hire the best. Top Grade Roofing and Construction has over 25 years of experience and is licensed and insured. Top Grade Roofing and Construction can and will build just about anything. Need a deck? They can do it. Need siding? Yep. How about a fence? Of course. I mean, Top Grade Roofing and Construction might even build you a chicken coop if you ask. That's Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Call Vince for a free consultation at 208-269-3111. That's 208-269-3111. Top Grade Roofing and Construction. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night, or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet, to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Hugh and Margie Gannon of St. Mary's are proud to support the Lumberjacks and this Lumberjack sports broadcast. The Gannons want to wish the Lumberjacks the best of luck this sports season and want you to know that they are proud of you. The Gannons say, "Go Lumberjacks!"
And we are back here at Orofino High School. St. Mary's with a sizable lead, 43-6 over the Maniacs. Jack Barta breaking the school record for total yardage on the season, and I think I've seen that Brock Barta is at 96 yards for receiving. He only needs 121 to break a school record as well, so he's close to doing so. Looking at some team statistics, St. Mary's with 8 first downs, according to my stats in that first half. They've moved the ball in pretty big chunk plays, so that would make sense. 7 first downs for Orofino. Total yardage, St. Mary's 242 total yards, 87 to the Maniacs. Passing yardage, Lumberjacks are 144 passing yards, Orofino was 7. Orofino has 2 interceptions, so in stats say 3, but that is not correct. 98 rushing yards for St. Mary's, 80 rushing yards for Orofino, and we'll just go with that. St. Mary's had the ball for almost 20 minutes, Orofino 14 minutes. Individually for Orofino, let's take a look at their stat. I still got to figure out who number 13 is on their roster. Number 13, he's not even on their new roster that I've got from them. So number 13 for Orofino will remain the unknown soldier or the unknown player. So number 13 has 1 for 3 passing for 9 yards and an interception. Landon Connolly 1 for 5 for -2 yards and an interception. Rushing the ball, Landon Connolly has 10 carries for 33 yards. Johnny Stars has 6 carries for 32. Caleb Kessinger with 19 on 4 carries, and glad to see Johnny Stars getting back out there on that last kick return. So hopefully we'll see him in the second half. Receiving-wise, it's Landon Connolly with the lone reception for 9 yards. Kickoff returns, Johnny Stars has 4 for 76. Landon Connolly 2 for 50. Punt returns, I don't think that's, oh no, punts. These are punts. Connolly has 1 for 43 yards, and Johnny Stars 1 for 10. Now looking at the Lumberjacks offensively, Jack Barta, 7 of 9 passing for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns. Aiden Yearout, 5 carries, 82 yards and a touchdown. Santiago Prinzado has 1 carry for 14 yards today. Logan Wilcox, 1 carry for 7 yards and a touchdown. Russell Brousseau, 1 carry for 2 yards and a touchdown. Receiving, Brock Barta sits at 98 yards with 4 catches and 2 touchdowns. Marcus Speakman has a catch for 28 yards, and Jackson Harold a catch for 10 yards. Isaiah Gustav a catch for 8 yards. Grayson DeLong is 1 for 2. It should be, I think, 2 for 3. No, I think 1 for 2 is right on the extra points. And unofficial tackle numbers: Amato Stewart, Russell Brousseau, Colin DeGravio. Or actually, Amato and Colin with 3 tackles apiece. Russell with 2 tackles. Will Durham with 2 tackles. Sawyer Nantel with 2 tackles. Colin with a interception. And Logan Wilcox with a interception on the night so far. So it's been a good game. Oh, I just pushed the wrong button. St. Mary's needs to just continue doing what they're doing. It's been a good game for the Lumberjacks so far. See what St. Mary's does as far as their player rotation goes with the lead that they have at the moment. I know it's the last game for a lot of these seniors, so we'll see if they start to switch in some of these guys, the seniors, and put them in some different places and let them do some different things late in the game. So we'll find out from there. But it's been a good game so far. They put a few minutes on the clock for warm-ups as Orofino just came back out. We'll take another break and come back with the second half of action here from Orofino High School.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff, and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the hot deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses. And most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking.
Sometimes accidents happen. You never thought it would happen to you, but it did. Working the turn for that friendly hand of support, Jack's Pharmacy is your good neighbor pharmacy in St. Mary's, where you'll find personalized care. Whether you need crutches, supports, wheelchairs, or even a hospital bed, Jack's is here for you. We service both Medicare and Medicaid. If you need durable medical equipment, come to Jack's, your good neighbor pharmacy, where you'll receive personalized service and attention.
Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood is a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports. For all of your road building, site preparation needs, call Mitchell Excavation, 208-245-1160. Whether ditch digging for plumbing and electrical or home site preparation, Mitchell Excavation is the place to call. That's Mitchell Excavation in Fernwood, 208-245-1160. Mitchell Excavation says, go Lumberjacks!
And we are back. Lumberjacks lead 43-6. We come from the halftime break. St. Mary's will kick off, I believe. Or no, St. Mary's, I think, gets the ball to start the second half. Is that right? we'll see. I don't remember right off the top of my head. St. Mary's kicked off to start this thing, so it's actually going to be Orofino to kick off. So Lumberjacks will start the second half with the first possession. And kicking off is going to be Johnny Stars. Maniacs will kick from left to right to start the second half of action. Back deep for St. Mary's is Brock Barta, Isaiah Gustoff, and Chris Brousseau. That kick is a low line drive, going to be picked up by Brousseau at about the 20. Takes it far side, bring it back to the opposite. Now tries to stiff arm a guy, carries him with him, be brought down at the 30. So the ball is Orofino's. Trying to get this thing set right for the kickoff. The 20. Lumberjacks up the line of scrimmage. Grayson DeLong in at quarterback. And I think we might have had a bad snap. That's what I'm going to put it as, because I'm not sure. I didn't see. I was trying to fix the other positioning. So that ball goes back to the 16 or so. We'll call it 17-yard line. On the bad snap is Grayson DeLong in at quarterback for the Jacks. Or at least he was for that play. I'm not 100% sure. They do have some trick plays designed for Grayson and Barta, but so Grayson in at quarterback. I think it's Jackson Harold in at running back. The pass across the middle intended for Caden Brown, incomplete. Brings up third and long for St. Mary's. Third and about, third and 23 for St. Mary's. Going to see curious to see if St. Mary's alternates their offense in this half. Grayson DeLong taking the snap, hands it off to Harold. Harold finds an opening up the middle, and he'll take it across the 25, almost to the 30. It'll be short of the first down by quite a bit. There was still about 13 yards to go. As that ball is marked at the 29-yard line. It's fourth and about 12. St. Mary's says, I think I heard him say varsity punt. Taking the snap is, I think, that's Caden Brown. High punt. Will take a bounce out of bounds just at about the 49 of St. Mary's. So the Maniacs have good starting field position on their first possession of the second half. So it's first and 10 for Orofino at the Lumberjack. I think St. Mary's 40, 7 or 8 yard line actually. The Maniacs with good starting field position for their first possession of the half. really something different when you switch in guys that haven't played all season long in the varsity game. So it might take a minute to get rolling. It's going to be curious to see what our coaches do as far as that rotation for who they have in. They had a lot of the young guys in on that first possession offensively. Under center is, I believe, it's Connolly back in at quarterback. And Stars almost got taken down at the line of scrimmage by Kyle Smith, but he just able to step out of that tackle. It's about a yard before Jackson Harold, and I didn't see who the other Lumberjack was to help bring him down. But 2nd and 9 for the Maniacs. That's a 2nd and 8 on the scoreboard. So we'll go with 2nd and 8. They're right about the Lumberjack 45. Orofino up to the line of scrimmage. One receiver top, one bottom. Wing backs. One running back in the backfield. Man in motion. Hands it off to that one wing back going to the far side. That's Kessinger. Finds some room to run. Nate George, one of the Lumberjacks, in there on the tackle. Going to be about a 7-yard pickup. Brings up 3rd and 1 for the Maniacs at the Lumberjack 38-yard line. Brenton Signs into the game as well for the Lumberjacks. I believe that's 35. He was one of the guys brought up from JV for this final game. One receiver top, one bottom for Orofino. 2 wing backs. Man goes in motion. Going to fake the handoff to the man in motion. The Lumberjacks going to eat it up at the line of scrimmage. No gain. I believe it was Brousseau. And might have been Durham on the tackle. And Johnny Starr's a little shaken up again. As he was banged up in that first half, and Johnny gets help up. So 4th and 1 for Orofino. Valiant effort by Stars to come back out. I was hoping he was good to go for the second half after taking some plays off in that first half. You always, again, I hate to see any players hurt, but I also hate to see seniors hurt more so. Hopefully for him, it's nothing serious that takes him out of any of his other sports for the fall or spring. I'm not sure that he's a basketball player, but he might be a wrestler. So 4th and short for Orofino on the Lumberjack 38-yard line. They're going for it. Connolly under center. That quarterback sneak right up the middle has worked every time for short yardage. They're not going to do it this time. Connolly, well, it is a keeper. He tries to back it out and go around the edge, and I think he gets just enough for the first down. So the Maniacs will get the first down. That was, I don't know if you'd call it risky, but I think the up the middle one's been going pretty well for him earlier in the game. Maybe they felt St. Mary's was really going to load that box on 1 yard to go. So he tried to bounce it out to the outside, and it worked out for him down to the Lumberjack 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for Orofino, one receiver to each side, a couple of wing backs in there, a couple of running backs, 3 running backs in the backfield. Connolly having to place his running back where he needs to be. Connolly goes under center, takes the snap, hands it off. It's going to be into the hands of number 7, Miller. And on the tackle for the Lumberjacks is Stewart. A 3-yard pickup or so. 2nd and 7 for the Maniacs. Miller fighting for every yard as he could, kept those legs going, made D'Amato Stewart really have to work to complete that tackle. Coming over late to kind of help it out, but not really. I don't think assist-worthy was Cody Mitchell there, as I think he was already going down. Forward momentum stop. 2nd and 7 for the Maniacs. One receiver near side, one at the top, handoff. Met in the backfield by Cody Mitchell. That was a nice defensive play by Mitchell. The ball carrier was number 4, Quentin Naranjo, a senior. First time I've called his name tonight. And I think they lost a yard on the run. Might have lost a couple yards, actually. We say 3rd and 8. Actually, it's 3rd and 9, to be honest with you. 9.5. 3rd and 9 at the 33-yard line of St. Mary's. 2 receivers, a couple of wing backs, 1 running back. Running back is number 9 of Kessinger. Connolly takes the shotgun snap, looking to throw, has to hurry it out. Looking down to Simmons near sideline there in defense, I believe was Michael Nyman, and maybe was George over there? I'm not sure. Brings up 4th down. Actually, it might have been Brenton Signs in coverage. So it's 4th and 9 now for Orofino. Maniacs going for it. Same formation, a couple of wing backs, 2 wide receivers, and a running back in the backfield with Connolly. Connolly takes the shotgun snap, looks to throw. He's going to be pressured, takes to the far side. He's going to heave it deep, look into the end zone. Oh, was that? Yeah, I was going to say the receiver actually had a hold of St. Mary's defender and dragging him down. I don't see anybody looking for a flag on it, but there was a lot of contact back there. Nate George in coverage. Intended receiver for the Maniacs was Chase Deo. They turn the ball over with 5:33 to go in the 3rd. Lumberjacks leading 43-6 over the Maniacs. St. Mary's will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. Grayson DeLong still in at quarterback. 4 receiver set for the Lumberjacks. Chris Brousseau in at running back. Takes the snap. High snap again over the top of Grayson's hands. He's able to get it. Reverses field to the far side. Spins off of a defender. He can't get back to the original line of scrimmage. But I can't call that. I'm going to have to call it as a run. I'm not going to call it as a bad snap, even though it was. Still going to be a loss of 5. I mean, I guess we probably could still put that in as a bad snap, but he didn't have to just fall on it. So it'd be 1st and 2nd and 15. And if that first snap of the first drive was a bad snap, it's not a great way to start your first drives. And it's funny because Grayson is a bit smaller than Barta. They're taller. 4 receiver set once again. Grayson takes a snap, hands it off. That's Brousseau. Brousseau, a little stutter step, stiff arms the guy. Looks like he might have picked up. I think he got back to the line of scrimmage. Might have actually lost a yard, but we're going to put it as the line of scrimmage. So it remains 3rd and 15. Actually, they might have given him a yard. 3rd and 14. So St. Mary's comes out with a 4 receiver set. DeLong in the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks to throw. Has some pressure, escapes from that. Going to heave it down the field. He's got a receiver, but he can't quite get to it. Intended receiver was, I'm not sure if I have a 16 on my roster. Yes, I do. It's Matt Siren. That'll bring up 4th and 15, and St. Mary's will go to punt it away. Again, St. Mary's handily in control of this one, so they don't want to run the score up on Orofino. So they put in their backup receivers and stuff. To punt, I believe, is Caden Brown. Now we're going to get a flag. St. Mary's, I think. Did St. Mary's take too long? Delay a game, I think, on the Lumberjacks. So it's 4th and 20 for Lumberjacks now. Caden to punt, gets the snap, gets the punt away. It's a high snap, or high punt, and it'll take a Maniac. Oh, the Maniac's the guy touched it, came loose, and I think he's able to get back on it, thankfully. I think that ball bounced, luckily, right back to him, as that was number 44 of Orofino with the Deo. That was almost a turnover on Orofino, but they'll end up with the ball at, I think, St. Mary's 39-yard line. Still call it no return. 3:43 to go in the third. St. Mary's leads it 43-6. Some of the mix of youth and seniors in there. I think actually they're bringing Aiden Yearout out as well. So they've got some of the young guys in. They'll be looking to take the helm next year. St. Mary's with 17 seniors on the roster. I know these seniors don't want to be out. They want to be in there playing, but we'll see if they do this for the third quarter, see if they let the seniors play the fourth. Orofino comes out in an I formation, one receiver to each side, Connolly under center. Connolly takes these. No, I think Orofino, St. Mary's almost jumped off too, but Orofino's, one of their guards, I think, jumped off. 65 Rasmussen ends up moving early for the Maniacs. So it's 1st and 15 for Orofino. Moves the ball back to the 44 of St. Mary's. Same formation. They one receiver to the top, one to the bottom. I formation for the running backs behind Connolly under center. Connolly is going to get St. Mary's to jump that time. So they'll get the 5 yards back that they gave up. So it's back to 1st and 10. Orofino back into that same formation. Connolly trying to hard count again. Not working this time. Takes the snap, pitches it out. St. Mary's is going to get him in the backfield. Who is that gets back there for the Lumberjacks? That is the number 69. 59 for St. Mary's. It's a loss of 5 for the number 7, Liam Miller. And I swear that's number, I have to double check. I'd have the neck roll of 58, Brousseau. That's who I'm going to give that tackle to. I think the jersey might have been wrinkled up, making it look like it was a 58 or a 59 or 69. 69 would be Riley Porter, but we don't have a 59. Maniacs with the snap, run up the middle by Connolly. And I'm not sure. I think they thought the ball was loose. The two guys were rolling around there, Chris Brousseau and Connolly, for a minute. About a 5-yard pickup for Orofino, maybe 6 yards. It's just past the line of scrimmage. So it's 3rd and 9 for Orofino. .222 and counting in the third. Back to that couple of under center, snap, handoff. Whole host of Lumberjacks to bring him down. The runner was Deo. Call it a 7-yard pickup. There's a bunch of Lumberjacks in on that tackle. Can't pick one of them to put on that one. And it looks like, I think St. Mary's took a timeout. 1:47 to go in the third. 43-6, St. Mary's leads, and we have a timeout.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Idaho. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Afraid?
And we are back, and it was Orofino that took that time out. I forgot I could just look up at the scoreboard. And actually, I think this... I'm going to fix that on my stats here, maybe. Maybe not. We will just go back to that. 4th and 3 for Orofino. Connolly under center, couple of running backs in the backfield. Connolly takes the snap, rolls out, going to keep it. Gets a block. Coming off that block was Speakman. They still can't quite get onto him and get him brought down before the first down. So a nice strong run by the senior quarterback Connolly for a maniac first down. That'll be at the 25 or so. I'll give Marcus Speakman in there on the tackle. Of course, later on we clean up those stats, so we will get the tackle stats more accurate later. 1st and 10 from the Lumberjack 24-yard line. 2 receivers, 2 wingbacks, a running back, Connolly under center. Connolly takes the snap, hands it off, going far side. That's Miller and Harley Dutton and trying to see who that other one is. 55, I believe, for St. Mary's. Kusaric get the tackle. Loss of 4. Brings up 2nd and long for the Maniacs. 27-yard line. Orofino breaks the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. 1 receiver near side, 1 to the far side. 2 running backs in the eye. Connolly under center. Takes snap, fakes the handoff, going to keep it himself, slips, and just has to try to push himself forward for a couple of yards. I think he got back to the line of scrimmage. Harley Dutton there to touch him down. They're going to say he got a couple of yards. And the end of the third quarter comes and goes. 43-6, St. Mary's leads. It was a scoreless third quarter and not really much action. But we'll take a break and come back with the 4th period.
To touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benawa, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work? M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
For all of your area high school sports schedules, updates, and recaps, including Lakeside, Kootenai, and, of course, St. Mary's High School, pick up your copy of the St. Mary's Gazette-Record every Wednesday. Not only will they have game recaps and highlights for area high school sports action, but local news and information. St. Mary's Gazette-Record, pick up copy today. And we're back as we get ready to start the 4th period of play from Orofino. 43-6, the Lumberjacks lead the Maniacs. St. Mary's offense consisted of a bunch of their younger guys in the third quarter. They've still got the younger guys, some of the younger guys out on defense. As Orofino is 3rd and 11. 2 receiver set, man in motion, ball on the ground. The Maniac's able to get back on it. And again, that was the player with no name on any rosters we have, number 13 for the Maniacs. I'm going to call it a run. Loss of a couple there. I accidentally put that as Landon Connolly. It was not. So the Maniacs going for it. 4th down and long. Going to have a throw by Connolly. And it's going to be tipped away by Siren there at the last second. Intended receiver was number 3, Simmons. Let's see, who was that again? Matt Siren with the breakup. Takes the ball over to the Lumberjacks. 1st and 10 at the St. Mary's 27. Looks like Grayson's still in at quarterback for the Lumberjacks. Still the younger receivers out there. Looks like we've got Caden Brown, one of our receivers. Siren. Also Alan Wise. He's one of the seniors. And I don't see the receiver on the other side. The receiver on the other side is Sparta. And St. Mary's, I think, burns a timeout. Yes. So finally, now I got that timeout there on the thing, but St. Mary's takes the timeout, 11:32 to go in the 4th, 43-6, St. Mary's leads. We'll be back.
The name says it all. Taco About It. What is it, you may ask? It's the best taco truck in town. Might even be the only taco truck in town. If you like tacos, and who doesn't, then you need to stop by Taco About It, located at 128 South Highway 3 in St. Mary's, across the street from Triple X Feeds. Taco About It has too many tacos to list, so you will just have to try them all. Call in your order 208-582-8533, or just stop by. Taco About It, located across the street from Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's.
And we are back. So Jack Barta, I think, is back out. No, actually, I don't see him out there. Yeah, Brock Barta was out there. And now I don't see him back out there. St. Mary's might change up their play call. 4 receiver set. Grayson DeLong in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Hands it off. That is Jackson Harold running near side. He's still on his feet. Couple of stiff arms down the sideline off to the races of Jackson Harold. And another stiff arm. And he's going to take it to the end zone as Jackson is just stiff arming Simmons all the way down that the near sideline. And Jackson Harold, the junior, with a huge run for the Lumberjacks to start the 4th quarter. 73 yards on the touchdown run. What a run for Harold. Had a couple of stiff arms as he was going down the field, but the one that caught up to him was that Simmons, Leland Simmons, with some speed for Orofino, outran all of his teammates, and Jackson Harold was able to fend him off with a stiff arm, and then he caught up to him again just before he crossed the goal line and fended him off again with another stiff arm. Back out there for the extra point attempt, it's going to be DeLong with the holder, Jack Barta. Trying to make sure they've got everybody right out there. They've been shuffling their personnel around. The snap, the hold, kick is up. It looks good, and it is. So it extends the score to 50-6 for the Lumberjacks. I believe that's going to turn into a running clock here in the 4th now. It was a 73-yard drive for the Lumberjacks with the one big play from Harold, and St. Mary's scores the first touchdown of the second half. We'll take a break. When you need that morning pick-me-up before work or school, there's one place that comes to mind. It's a place that loves our community, the St. Mary's Lumberjacks, and all the local businesses and people in our village. Shift and Grind in St. Mary's is all about the community. Whether it's helping raise money for the Booster Club or for a family in need, the Shift and Grind family are always ready to help. So be sure to stop by Shift and Grind for your caffeinated needs. Located at 132 First Street in St. Mary's, Shift and Grind says, Go Lumberjacks! And we are back. Running clock here now. St. Mary's up by more than 40, 50-6 over the Maniacs. 10:53 and counting. Santiago Prinzado to kick off. Get everybody lined up. Santi gets the Lumberjacks ready. Kick is off. High, nice kick. Fielded at the 25 by Simmons. And Simmons will be tackled at about the 40 by Wilcox. Maybe about the 39, I think. And they're going to mark him right at the 40. Logan Wilcox with the stop. 1st and 10 for the Maniacs at their own 40-yard line. See if I can... Maniacs with 2 receivers set. Quarterback under center. I'm not sure which one it is yet. Takes the snap, hands it off, first man through. I believe it was Harley Dutton and Hammonds on the tackle. Couple yard pickup brings up 2nd and 8 for the Maniacs. One receiver to the near side, one to the top for Orofino. Quarterback under center. I'm not sure if it's Connolly or the number 13. Going to be Connolly. Pitches out to the number 9. That's Kessinger. He'll get to the edge, pick up a few yards before being forced out of bounds. I think Michael Nyman, one of the guys over there, forced him out. See where they mark that. They're going to mark it at about the 48. Caleb Kessinger that had the carry. 3rd and 2 for Orofino. Orofino breaks the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. 1 receiver to each side. 3 running backs in the backfield. Connolly under center. Takes the snap. Throws it out into the backfield. Maniacs trying to get back to that line of scrimmage, and they're not. I think they did get back to the line of scrimmage. I think that's a run because of the way that was a throw into the backfield. And no gain. Maybe it was a 1-yard pickup. 4th and a yard to go for Orofino. On their own 49. Again, running clock down to almost 7 minutes to go. 1 receiver top, 1 bottom, 3 running backs in the backfield. Connolly takes the snap and just runs with it. He's going to get that to the 45 of St. Mary's. Connolly runs that one to perfection just about. I don't even know if there's a snap count on that one. It doesn't seem like it. I think that's why they're able to make it be so effective. I think he just taps the center. I'm pretty sure he just taps the center and says that's the signal to give them the ball so that the defense doesn't have a chance to react to an audible snap count. 1 receiver to the near side, 1 to the top of the formation for Orofino. Again, 3 running backs in the backfield. Connolly back under center. Connolly takes the snap, pitches it back to Kessinger. Kessinger looking for some room, and he's going to be carrying a few Lumberjacks. He's got a pretty good run there. Siren, one of the Lumberjacks on the tackle. Michael Verib as well. Picks up, I think, 8 yards on the first down carry. I didn't see. I forgot who I said was the other person in there to help with that tackle. 2nd and 2 for the Maniacs. Same formation. Actually, no, this time they have the wing backs. One running back in the backfield. Connolly takes a man in motion, fakes the handoff, going to be a screen pass. Intended for number 3. No, incomplete. That was, again, close to being that kind of backwards lateral pass, but it was right down that line, so it was just an incomplete pass. Brings up 3rd and 2. Orofino breaks the huddle. Up to the line of scrimmage they go. One receiver near side, one to the far side. Looks like it's the wing back formation again with one running back in the backfield. Connolly under center. Takes a man in motion, hands it off to coming near side. That's number 7 of Miller. And Miller is going to be wrapped up in the backfield by Kuserick. Call it a couple yard loss. Blaine Kuserick getting the tackle for loss. Brings up 4th and 4. 4th and 5. Right here is where St. Mary's has got to be sound on the defensive line. They can't jump off sides. Same formation. This time they take all the running backs back in tight. Connolly under center. Connolly takes the snap, fakes the pitch, takes it himself. He's going to be... Gentry was held, and the flag does come out, so it's a decent run for Connolly. I'm not sure if he gained enough for the first down on the run, but it's going to be a hold anyways, which will bring the ball back. So it should be 4th and about 14 now for Orofino. Under 4 to go in the contest.
You're listening to Lumberjack Sports on KOFE 1240 AM, St. Mary's, Idaho. North Idaho's classic hits.
So 4th and long for the Maniacs now. Orofino breaks huddle, coming up to the line of scrimmage. One receiver near side, one to the top of the formation. Everybody in tight. Or no, they got the 2 wing backs and the 1 running back. Connolly under center. Connolly takes the snap, looks to throw, pressured, and he'll be brought down. We've got Kuserick and Blankenship collabing on the sack. And that'll be all the way back to the, looks like about the 42-yard line. Loss of 9 and a turnover on downs. So 1st and 10 for St. Mary's now as the clock rolls. Get the ball out to the official. St. Mary's huddling up. St. Mary's up to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers, 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Grayson DeLong. Oh, no, 2 to the bottom, 1 to the top. Grayson DeLong in the shotgun. Grayson takes the snap, hands it off. No, fakes handoff, pulls it out. It's going to be a throw to Speakman. Speakman lowers his shoulder, keeps his feet, looking for some blocks, and he'll pick up close to the first down. The 32-yard line. Should be a first down for the Lumberjacks. So I think I heard them saying that they know Jack Barta is only a few yards, or Brock Barta is only a few yards away from a record. Oh, there was a penalty against St. Mary's. Oops. There was a penalty. Might have been a hold against the Lumberjacks. Or a timeout for St. Mary's. We'll call that as a hold. And it's going to be, let's see, where's that ball marked? It's going to be at the 48 of, where'd they put the ball down? 40, I'm not sure. Might be 48 of Orofino. So St. Mary's called the timeout. They do have, okay, so St. Mary's is going to now look to try to get that record for Brock Barta. So they're just waiting until late in the game and hope to get a chance to get him back in to try to complete this. I think he needs about 23 or 24 yards for the receiving record. I think it was a single season 21 yards for single season yardage record. So they've got the starting guys back out there for the final play or so to try to get Brock his record. Only Brock's now coming off the field. I don't know. I think St. Mary's took a knee, or I think St. Mary's took a knee. Now Brock is back out there. They're going to end up having to call a timeout if they take too long here because they got time ticking. Colin DeGravio comes off and Otto Stewart comes off. No, St. Mary's just going to kneel it down. That's kind of surprising me. St. Mary's looked like they wanted to get the record for Brock Barta, but they decided not to, I guess. So St. Mary's comes away with the win, 50-6 over Orofino here tonight. We'll take a break, and we'll come back and get our player of the game and a quick recap of the stats and possibly get ready for basketball season. We'll see what happens.
If you know which side of the saw cuts wood, and if you can hammer a nail, you can do it yourself. Carpentry, construction, finishing, or framing, around here, you've got it made. You've got 10th Street Lumber. At 10th Street Lumber, we have the answers to your building and repair project questions. Every day, 10th Street Lumber helps homeowners get quality results. For lumber, block, power tools, fixtures, everything you need for a professional job. Don't pick up a nail until you shop 10th Street Lumber. 10th Street Lumber on the corner of 10th and Railroad Avenue in St. Mary's.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255.
Fall is coming, and of course, cold weather. Now's the time to stock up on a few things. XXX Feeds has magnetic wood pellets in stock, and it's never too early to be ready for the cold weather. XXX Feeds also has alfalfa in stock as well as straw. And if you have some four-legged woodland friends that look a little hungry, XXX Feeds can keep you loaded up on deer feed and deer blocks. Don't wait until the last minute. Stop by XXX Feeds in St. Mary's today.
It's the kid in grade school who paints her face blue and white before every home game.
It's the accountants and salesmen who give up their Friday evenings to referee.
It's the cashier at the corner convenience store who wears school colors on every game day.
What makes high school sports here in Idaho so special? They do. You do.
We all do.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
St. Joe Oil isn't just a fuel delivery company. They provide a much larger service than most people realize. St. Joe Oil can sell you a brand new Toyo oil stove and install it for you, and also keep your oil tank full. Not only that, St. Joe Oil plays a very critical role in our local industries. From logging to farming, St. Joe Oil keeps the fuel tanks full. From heating oil to off-road diesel and everything in between, call St. Joe Oil 208-245-2123. That's 208-245-2123. St. Joe Oil.
And we are back. St. Mary's comes away with a decisive victory over the Maniacs, 50-6 here in the last regular season game of the year. And take a quick look at team statistics. Second half was really just not a whole lot of action, obviously. We had that one big play by Jackson Harold. Both teams ended up with 10 first downs. Total yardage, 318 for the Lumberjacks, 120 for Orofino. St. Mary's had 154 yards passing. Orofino was 7. Rushing yards, 164 for the Lumberjacks, 113 for the Maniacs. And we'll just go with that. A couple of turnovers for Orofino. And I think it was 2 interceptions. I don't know if St. Mary's got it. I think there was a fumble, too, so there's that lateral. So 3 total turnovers for the Maniacs. St. Mary's did not turn the ball over here this evening. Taking a look at the Lumberjacks' individual stats, Jack Barter went 7 of 19 for 144 yards. Once again, got the school record for passing yardage, career passing yardage. So congratulations. Aiden Yearout had an 82-yard night tonight with a touchdown on 5 carries. Jackson Harold had 3 carries for 78 yards and a touchdown. Santiago Prinzado got a carry for 14 yards. Logan Wilcox had a 7-yard run for a touchdown. Russell Brousseau, the senior, had a 2-yard run for a touchdown. Brock Barta comes up a little bit short of his record. 4 catches, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sparkus Speakman had I think I fixed that, but I don't think he actually had 2 catches because they had a holding call that brought one back. So I'll fix that up later. Jackson Harold a catch for 10 yards. Gustav a catch for 8 yards. And tackles, that's not really accurate tonight. So we'll jump into the Taco About It player of the game, brought to you by Taco About It. And, sometimes it's not always about the stats and stuff. I want to give a young man who's a senior this year who I think got his first career rushing touchdown for the Lumberjacks. So we're going to give the player of the game tonight. I'm just going to stick with my guns and say that's who I'm going to give it to, and that is going to be Russell Brousseau. We'll give him the Talk About It player of the game tonight. I have to take a look at his defensive stats when we go through stuff, but according to mine right now, he had 3 tackles and 2 assists. So I'm going to give that player of the game to Russell Brousseau. That's going to wrap it up here for us from Orofino. Tomorrow we'll have Vandal football on the air in St. Mary's. There's a doubleheader. The Boise State plays later in the evening, but I don't know if we're going to do both, so we'll find out. But anyways, we will have Vandal football tomorrow afternoon. With that being said, thanks for joining us on the air tonight, and have a great weekend.
You've been listening to another production of Lumberjack Sports on KOFE 1240 St. Mary's, your Lumberjack Sports Network. We thank you for tuning in and hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We also want to thank our Lumberjack Sports broadcast sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Until next time, same as always, go Lumberjacks! Lumberjacks!